Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. It is Thursday. It is Europa League day. For those of you that are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like and subscription as always. But this is it. Thursday nights have got, well, you could say bigger and better. Depends on your opinions. Conference League as well now. We've got 16 games to cover. There is a lot of games now in comparison to what a usual 5 o'clock would be. There are pretty much 8 or 9 extra games on top, so it's going to be a very busy goals show. But fingers crossed, touch wood, we can try and keep up to tabs with the 16 different matches and keep you up to date with the goals. You'll see on the bottom of the screen the 16 games going along. We're not going to talk about all 16 of them in terms of lineups. We'd be here. We'd have started about 4:30 to go through all of the 16 lineups. So we're going to go through the 4 games that we're covering out of the 16. And as you can tell, there's only 4 games being covered. The reason why is we're very depleted in terms of numbers on the channel. There's 2 of us rocking it this afternoon. There'll be 3 of us later tonight. Katie's not with us, unfortunately, yet. But I can say he's repping the Dortmund shirt, but he's not repping them tonight. They already got 3 points on the board. He's repping his opposition side. I'm saying opposition. His other side, Slavia Prague, of course. It's Mr. Rowan. How are we?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. I mean, it's very football heavy, but I suppose last year when we were doing this, it was literally week after week. At least this week, this time we get a bit of a breather. It's football. We get a bit of time off, and then we're back again. And I mean, as you said in the intro, so many games, and we're looking at some of these games. There are some absolute firecrackers of games. I mean, what we're covering tonight, we'll talk about, but games that we're not even covering. Galatasaray, Lazio. I think Karabakh, Basel. Bratislava, Copenhagen, Leverkusen, Ferencváros, Lokomotiv versus Marseille. There are so many. I think it's the beauty of the Europa League, and also the Conference League. I think we'll talk a bit more about, obviously, with that new competition. But it does bring out some really matchups that you probably would have never seen and may never see again before. And I think that's going to be the beauty of. I think it's why some people do sometimes prefer the Europa League. I think Champions League is your big hitters. Europa is your. I've never expected to see these 2 teams face against each other, and you may get an absolute stellar game. And hopefully the 4 games we'll be properly covering for you tonight are going to be up to standard.
Hopefully so. And no doubt, as we go through the 16 games, which I'll do a little bit later on, there's probably going to be a fair few goals in them. I don't know, obviously, jinx it, but I think, obviously, yesterday, Champions League, we had, I think it was something like 28 goals. It was ludicrous. No doubt we're going to get plenty of goals.
We were absolutely spoiled. I had 11.
Poor KD got 1. Yeah, not his best night. He'll be hoping tonight he gets more. But in terms of the 4 games, we'll go through those. Kick off in 5 minutes for all of the matches. I'll talk through some of the 16 probably after the games are kicked off. But we'll start off with the Europa League first. Just a quick rundown. Not the best image in the world, I'll be honest with you. You might just be able to see everything on the screen. This is the groups for the Europa League. Obviously, the Champions League, the way it works, Tuesday, Wednesday games, the groups get basically split into 2 and played on different nights. Europa League, all games played on Thursday, so all 8 teams are going at it at once. Obviously, you've got some nighttime games as well, so not everybody is playing as we currently speak. But you can see, obviously, Lyon, Rangers, Sparta Prague, and Brøndby in Group A. Monaco, PSV, Sociedad, Sturm Graz in Group B. Napoli, Leicester, Spartak, Legia Warsaw in Group C. They're not playing currently. We'll see them later on. Same with Group B. Group D as well is not playing as of yet. So you can basically discredit the top row. It's the bottom row that are playing as we speak. Lazio, Lokomotiv Moscow, Marseille, Galatasaray in Group E, which when the draw came out, we said that was a little mini group of death. That one's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes out on. Group F, again, is a real mixed bag of teams. Braga from Portugal, Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda as they know. Ludogorets and Midtjylland in there. 4 very even teams in Group F. Group G, 3 very even teams. And Ferencváros, which let's not discredit them, actually played really good in the Champions League last season. And I think they will maybe bring up a few interesting results in that group. And then Group H is probably quite the opposite. West Ham, clear favourites, but don't count out Dinamo Zagreb, Genk, or Rapid Vienna because it could be a fight for second place. But West Ham, it's only the first time in Europe, so we'll have to see how things go on there. Let's go through the lineups. We'll start off with the game that Rowan's going to be covering from the Europa League, of course. West Ham first time in Europe. Zagreb, the last time we saw them, we'll remember, of course, they were in the Europa League. Tottenham, they got that incredible result, didn't they, against Tottenham, Orsic with a hat-trick. And he does start up top tonight alongside Petkovic in a 3-5-2. Looking at the rest of the team, Livkovic, the Croatian goalkeeper, he's in goal. And then a couple of other names in there. Theo Catherine's played in England before. Stefan Rostovski, if you've watched European football, you might have seen him before at Sporting. Obviously a fairly, you could say, defensive team to a certain extent. And then looking at West Ham, 4-2-3-1. Of course, a couple of new signings in there. Kurt Zuma and Vlasic are the two main new signings in the team. Fabianski in goal. Creswell, Diop, Zuma, Fredericks the back four. Suchik and Rice as the holding midfielders. Lanzini is the cam. Fornals, Vlasic as the wingers. And then Antonio, who is suspended in the Premier League, is available for this game. A strong bench as well. Rowan, West Ham, back in Europe. What are the expectations, do you feel, for them tonight and for the whole group in general?
The thing is, I think this is one of their tougher groups. I think a lot of people admit that this is, for West Ham, I think Zagreb is probably the toughest game to have at the start. But all in all, it's a group they should top. And I think for once, we look at West Ham and they've actually got quite okay depth. I mean, keeper, we know they've got it, Areola. I was actually quite surprised to see Fabianski. I would have thought Areola would have started this one. He's a quality. It's not like you've got Darren Randolph starting. It's Areola. We know that he's a very capable goalkeeper. Now, one thing I did notice, because obviously you said, obviously Noble's on the bench, but I did see him. He was already lining up with the team. I'm guessing he was. I don't know. I just
it might be a late change. I'm guessing maybe some bit of an injury.
It was all the subs were lining up to come out again. It just looked like it was the actual starting 11 because Areola was behind him. So I was super confused at first, but we're all good. But like right back, Ryan Fredericks, but you've got Sufal there ready to come on. Yarmolenko, we know what he can do. He proved it during the summer. Mark Noble is always that Mr. Reliable midfield if you want that, the loyalty, and he will put a shift into the team. Jared Bowen and Ben Rama coming off the bench. We've seen what they can do in the Premier League, and I think they could easily switch through up. And then also the new signing, Krau, has played with Souček before in that midfield. I think the signing of Krau isn't a signing to sort of challenge in the starting 11, but it's to sort of, I think one thing they've had an issue is with Declan Rice and Souček would play so many games. You've got that depth now. If Krau does come in, if it's him and Souček, they've got that relationship. Even if it's Rice or Rice and Krau, Krau still plays quite similar, a bit more attacking, like quicker than Souček in terms of decisions, but still a good midfielder to have in this side. West Ham, they could make a good run in this tournament, keep up the form that they created last year to get into this tournament, and they could very easily replicate it going deeper.
Yeah, when you look at the team, I think, in my opinion, when I look at it, I think for this stage of the competition, this early stage, if you were to swap the bench with the starting lineup, I think that is more than a good enough team to go out there and get a result, which just shows, as you said, the depth that West Ham have got in their team. Looking at the chat, how are we doing, everyone? Welcome along, Kyle. Hope you're good as always. Zavak's fan is in the building as well as the games have just kicked off across Europe. Kyle has said as well, and this is something new for the tournament, the winners of the groups will go straight into the round of 16. Now runners-up will be guaranteed to face the third-place Champions League positions. So the teams that come down, they'll face now, which is a little bit confusing. Obviously, when the draw comes around, it might make it a little bit easier because we'll know the potential candidates for who can face who. But that is a change to the system. I think it's the same for the teams that drop down to the Conference League as well. The Europa League teams, they'll face the third-place Conference one, something like that. But either way, the other game that is going on, Betis Celtic. That's the game that I'm going to cover from the Europa League. Betis, of course, sixth best team in the league last season. Celtic didn't have the best of seasons, to be honest with you, but they did more than enough to get into the Europa League. As you can see on the screen, 4-2-3-1 from the Spanish side who are home today. Bravo is in goal, back four of Juan Miranda, Victor Ruiz, Edgar Gonzalez, and Marvin Montoya. That is the former Brighton and Barcelona right back. Midfield holding two of Andres Guardado and Sergio Canales. Nabil Fekir is playing as the number 10. Juanmi and the 40-year-old Joaquin, the oldest player I think to ever play in Europa League history, is on the pitch playing a game, staggering. Up top, Borja Iglesias. On the bench, William Jose was on loan at Wolves last season. Christian Tello, former Barca man. William Carvalho as well is on their fairly stacked bench. As for Celtic, we were having a conversation about this before the game started. Not the strongest team. Apparently, as I was hearing before the game started, a lot of injuries. So that answers our question, Rowan. But Joe Hart's in goal in a 4-3-3.
I'll always back Joe.
Well, which is even better for him.
The thing is, I'd always back Joe Hart. I genuinely thought he could have been England. He was England's future. I love Joe Hart.
I think, on his day when he was at Man City, I did think there was a point where, as you said, there was the opportunity for him to become a world-class keeper.
So I've tried to load up the Slavia game. Apparently it's exclusive to the BT Sport app.
Oh.
So I will go get my tablet and I can whack it up on that.
That's all good. If you want to go and get your tablet, while Rowan goes, I'll take him off the screen. There we go. And I'll run through the Celtic team very quickly. So, Joe Hart's in goal. Ralston, Jovanovic, Cart Vickers and Starfelt the back four. Turnbull, Rogic and Ismail Soro as the midfield three. Up top, Albion Yeti on the left-hand side. Adam Montgomery on the right. And their new signing who signed from Benfica, Jota, is up top for his first game in a Celtic shirt. So a bit of pressure on him to go out there and deliver in his very first game as a Celtic player. But with the way that things have started for Celtic in terms of injuries and things like that in the Europa League, then it was always expected that we were going to see a few changes at the very least. And there has been an early goal already. As we said, 16 games to cover across the Europa League and the Conference League. It's going to get very, very hectic, if I say so myself. And the first goal of the 16 matches has come from Midtjylland. Midtjylland taking an early 1-0 lead against Ludogorets. Of course, not necessarily one of the standout games of the Europa League today, if I say so myself. But as I said, Midtjylland 1-0 up in the first couple of minutes of that game. In fact, a goal in the third minute from midfielder Gustav Isaacson. So a nice early goal there in the first goal of the night. But very quickly, we will go over the Conference League as well. I will talk about the group a little bit more in a second, and we'll go through them when, obviously, we've got a bit more time to do so. But looking at the Slavia Union game, I think Rowan will be back in a second. He is fist pumping because Slavia, this is their team for that match. 4-5-1 for Slavia today. Mandus is in goal. Back four of Dorley, Kacharaba, Usu and Bar. Midfield five of Majapust, Shevchik, Traore, Linger and Kepai. And then Tekel is up top. If you are a Sports Corner regular, you will know Rowan is a massive fan of Slavia Prague and he's backing his boys to go all the way in the Conference League and maybe win it. Who knows if they could do that or not. But that is the Slavia Prague team. Moving on to the Union Berlin side. Of course, Union making it for the first time ever into Europe. A incredible result for them to get there. 3-5-2, as I said. Luff is in goal. Jackal, Robin Knocker and Friedrich are the three centre-backs. Pukash, Haraguchi, Carrera, Ostonali and Trimul are the midfield five. Tawawani and Cruz are the front two. I can bring Rowan back in now. Rowan, Slavia Prague Union, tough group for Slavia with the way that the Conference League has been set up. What are the expectations, do you think, for Slavia this season?
I don't know. It's a very different Slavia side from what we saw in previous tournaments. I mean, that incredible run they went on last year. I mean, obviously losing two of their key players in Slab Dalasima going to Brighton and then Stoke, and then David Zima going to Torino. That's two key players. They've also got a couple of injuries. Obviously, the man, sort of the most controversial man last year, Andrej Skudela, out with an injury. Andrej Kolar not in the starting 11. I mean, Mandus is playing a couple of the games. And then it's sort of a rotated side as well because Jan Kutka is on the bench, allowing Techel to play. Samek, a guy, Daniel Samek, played a couple of the games before this. I think he was on 3 games, 2 goals or something, 2 assists. Like really good start from him. Obviously, no Stanchu, Peter Olinka, my boy, he is back in the team after an injury, so we could see him here. But it's a tough game. It really is a tough game. Union Berlin you look at him 2 strike force. Max Cruz, the veteran, but Taiwo Wonyi is just, I don't know. He's just an absolute different beast this year. I mean, he was coming off a great last year. Don't get me wrong, but he's turned up such a physical player and could cause a lot of problems in this game if Slavia cannot contain them. Oh, that's a meaty challenge on Ekpai. He is absolutely rolling around. It was Jekyll with a yellow card. Just a massive lunge. Ekpai is still down Winston, and he's obviously playing this up, but a meaty challenge there from him.
What you like to see at the start of the game?
Of course.
As you said, Awonyi has been a revelation so far this season for Union Berlin, and no doubt he's going to be the key man, I think, up top for Union today, alongside the experienced Max Kruse. And then the last game, which is going to be the key game that I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for in the Conference League, the main game I'm going to be talking about. Obviously, Betis Celtics on the side. Rennes Tottenham. This could have easily been a Europa League or Champions League game if you wanted it to be, but both sides in the lowest European competition of them all. Both with big expectations to go out there and go far. We'll start off with Rennes, of course. 4-4-2 for them tonight. Salin is in goal. Back four of Truffert, Bade, Aguirre and Traore. Midfield four of Sulemana, who is a very key man. Keep out for him tonight. He's a star talent. Tight, Santa Maria and Beauregard. And then up top, brand new signing, Gaetan Laborde, joined recently from Montpellier, up top with Seru Girassi. Not many recognisable players on the bench, if I say so myself.
If I'm right, Kamaldeen Sulemani, is he from FC Nordsjælland?
I think he is.
I only know because of my former podcast host, Simon, is the only way I know him, Kamaldeen. But I've heard very good big things.
I'm just going to say, before I go on with the Tottenham team, there's been another goal elsewhere. We said at the beginning of the night, before we went live, that there's a team to watch out for. Ferencváros have taken the lead against Bayer Leverkusen. If you know Leverkusen this season, they have been on fire in the Bundesliga. But Ferencváros, who, let's not forget, they were in the Champions League last season. Of course, we're in that group alongside Barca and Juventus. Have taken a 1-0 lead in that game with the Hungarian side off to a flyer, as well. I'm saying they would have expected. They probably didn't in a game of that quality. But
nice goal. The fan as well, by the way.
Say that again.
Let us know if you can hear my fan.
I can't hear anything. But if the chat can, then do put it in the chat.
There's absolutely roasting in here. I've got iPads going. It's not charging. I've got my PC. Roasting.
It is a very warm day. It's warm enough when we've got, all the different bits of equipment on, but it gets warmer when it's, 20 plus degrees outside. But the Tottenham team, full 3-3 today for Nuno Espirito Santo. Piluigi Galini's in goal, back four, Ben Davies, Joe Rodon, Jaffa Tanganga, who is, of course, in the team today, was suspended, got the red card in that Palace game. And then Matt Doherty at right back. Midfield three, Oliver Skipp, Brian Hill, again, another player to watch out for. And Tanguy Ndombele, not being in the Spurs team, was linked with a move away, didn't move, and he's back in the Spurs side today. And then up top, Son might be out, but it's still very strong. Bergwijn on the left, Lucas on the right, Harry Kane is up top. No doubt there could be goals in this one. It started very, very lively indeed, but they're the four games that we're going to keep our eyes out on. We will talk a little bit more about some of the Europa League groups later on, of course. We have got some games later tonight as well, so we'll talk about the top half of groups a little bit later on this evening. But
close that. Just had I think it was just a corner whipped in by Mikel Antonio, and Souček does what he normally does in the box, wins the header, tries to put it across, and it was eventually cleared away by Ademya. I think Ademya, the midfielder. Anyway, it's cleared away for another corner. But one thing that obviously, over the past year and a half, grown to love the Bundesliga. And one thing that you can love is the Union Berlin fans. They do not stop. They are one of the most passionate fans. Oh, what's he done there? Slavia in behind. And it was Alexander Bada, right back. It was a lovely ball in behind.
Sorry to put in.
It's fine.
Tottenham have taken the lead.
Oh.
And it's 1-0 to Tottenham. And we were just saying about how we expected goals in this game. And Lucas Moura has just been gifted. He will not go down as a Lucas Moura goal this one. It's going to go down as an own goal. But Rennes, I don't know what was going on at the back here. I think it was a Gerd who got a slight touch on the ball. And it was Tanguy Ndombele who started the attack. Lovely back heel to keep the ball in play, which initially started the attack. Harry Kane gets the ball. He sees Oliver Skipp, who then back heels the ball to Lucas. It's brilliant work between the Tottenham players. He takes a shot and then it deflects, a heavy deflection off the I nearly said Union Berlin again. I keep saying them. Rennes centre-back.
You've just got them in your head.
Honestly, it's because you said about the fans. I was going to say something about the Rennes fans, but he deflected off one of the Rennes centre-backs, gone back into the net, and Tottenham have got a 1-0 lead. But what I was going to say before is as you said about the Union Berlin fans, I've had to turn my TV down because the Rennes fans are that loud. I can't hear what the commentators are saying. So very passionate, as you would expect them to be. But Daz, he's in the building. How are you doing, Daz? Evening, Josh and Rowan. How are you both today?
Evening.
How are we doing?
I'm doing decent. Ooh. First stop for Fabianski. I mean, when I say stop, it was a ball in behind by Petrovic. Trying to find Ademir, but easily stopped by Fabianski, who... Sorry, another good opportunity. Slavia have been all over Union right now. This time it was Oscar Dawley causing some problems in the midfield, trying to get the ball through. But the rotation in defence of Slavia hasn't been tested yet. Union and Taiwo Wanyu especially just haven't been able to get anything going.
And talk about the Betis Celtic game. I think it's a very similar situation there for Betis. And just like that, oh no, I was about to say Celtic have scored.
Wow!
But I think it's been given as offside. It was a balling from the right hand side. Montgomery, he's just lobbed a ball into the box. Albion Yeti, who's playing as left winger today rather than a striker, put the ball in the back of the net. I think they're saying there was a foul in the build-up. That's not going to give this as a goal, but Celtic been on the front foot for the first 15 minutes of this game. Betis haven't, I don't think, been into the attacking half of play so far. It's been all Celtic, but it looks like, I think, that goal is going to be disallowed and Celtic are going to be staying 0-0, unfortunately for them.
Slavia inside the box. Dolly turns, puts it across. It's a great save there by Luth. Tetchell, the captain tonight, tries to go to the end of it. Luth comes out quickly and parries it away. I'm trying to think if this season, if Luth's the backup I think Frederick Grono is the star, if I'm right.
I think he usually is, yeah.
Yeah, in behind. I think that's Fornals. Puts the ball in, well defended there and cleared away by Satalo. Not Bosco, Josip. It's not my Satalo.
I was thinking that earlier when I was writing the lineups. I did think it was Bosco, but obviously, as you said, it's not. VAR check in Betis Celtic. The goal's been checked for whether or not. I think it's something to do with a foul, as I said earlier. Whether or not they're going to give it as a goal, but obviously, still waiting for the referee to check it and see whether Betis are going to go 1-0 down here. But as we said before, when we looked at the Celtic lineup, a lot of injuries for them today. They seem to have started really, really well. And it looks like Pellegrini's side, I think this is going to get given as a goal from what I'm seeing on the replays. But the referee's taken a very long time. And he's not gone to the monitor either. And usually when they don't go to the monitor...
It's not. It's never given.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as plain sailing as you'd like to think.
It was the same last night. Is the commentator... That's a good ball in. Vlasic just couldn't get into that. But it was the same last night. Commentator, somebody was like, when the referee goes to the TV, you know it's being given.
Yeah, and we're still waiting. And the referee has given it, I think.
Oh, wow.
It looks like, yeah, it's a goal. Celtic have taken the lead. It's 1-0. And the Swiss striker, Albion Yeti, who's playing as a winger today, has got a nice early lead for, I was going to say the Scottish champions, but the former Scottish champions. And I think
we're so used to saying Scottish champions. Thank you, Rangers, for switching it up a bit.
I'm going to say it's just been like, as you said, constantly every year. You always see Celtic winning it, but they are 1-0 up right now, and they're winning this game at the very least. And the perfect start indeed for Celtic. We've had 3 goals in the Europa League so far in the early stages. Celtic 1-0 up against Real Betis. Ferencváros 1-0 up against Leverkusen. And then, of course, we've had Midtjylland score against Ludogorets. Only 1 goal in the Conference League so far. That's Tottenham, who were 1-0 up against Rennes. Rowan, you look confused.
Yeah, Taiwo Wanyi's just been yellow carded. And now there was a lovely battle, and I think we're going to see this today, of Oscar Dawley, quite an aggressive midfielder, and will try battle his way players. And Wanyi was coming at him. Wanyi holding up the ball there, tussling with him. And Dawley does end up fouling him, but the ref actually gives a yellow card to Taiwo Wanyi. And I presume it's a foul in the build-up. But Wanyi gets up straight away and screams. I don't know whether this is like a misidentification. I'm seeing here. Wanyi... Oh, no, so that's unfortunate. Wanyi's been yellow carded for a foul he didn't commit. It was a flailing arm. I think it was the 2 seconds. Let me get his name correct because it's a 2 different centre backs, and I'm usually used to seeing. It's his first European game. Usu. When he's trying to defend a Wonyi, his flailing hand hits. I think it's his own teammate. I think it might be Sevcic, and it's been classed as a Wonyi foul when he didn't even touch the player. So, and then we had another injury. Yeah, very part. But we had 2 injuries because Majopoulos was also down on the pitch. He's back up to his feet. But that's very shoddy refereeing there.
Very, very poor refereeing by the sounds of it. There's been another goal, finally, another goal in the Conference League. There's been 2 goals in 20 minutes. HJK Helsinki against Las Linz. 1-0 in that game to HJK Helsinki. 1-0 for Las Linz, actually. My apologies. Let me switch.
Maricic, I think, for the goal.
Let me have a look and see who it was. The answer to that is... It will load up eventually. Manasic, spot on.
Because luckily, because I'm watching on the tablet, I get goal notifications. But luckily, when Celtic scored, it came up way later. I just seem very smart. I promise you, I'm not.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Rowan can tell ahead of time. He can read what's going to happen in every game across Europe.
I wish. Won a lot of goals. We do.
Oh, yeah, we definitely do. I mean, obviously, because there's 2 of us, we're keeping our eyes on the ball today. But honestly, I think we should get a few goals and talk about goals. We have got another goal. It is in the Conference League. Slovan Bratislava against FC Copenhagen. Copenhagen 1-0 up in that match as it stands. As I said, the other goal in that game coming from Jonas Wind. What a talent he is.
Love Jonas Wind.
Got a bright future ahead of him. And he's already scored.
Oh, it's a good move. Cross the box. Outside the box. Oh, it's gone. How's that missed? Peter Sevcic outside the box. And it was actually just a really good block. It was either a block or a save. I mean, it's absolutely chucking it down in Prague right now. You can actually see through the players' shirts. But it was a lovely move on that left-hand side. Laid off the right to Majopoulos. Pushed it across. Defended well. And then that rebound from Sevcic. I think I might have Haraguchi is just putting a lovely block to stop it. Goes wide for a corner. But energetic start in this Slavia Union game, I think, as we expected.
Very energetic start in Rennes Tottenham. It could have and should have been 1-1. Rennes with an absolute gift of an opportunity. I think his name's Truffert who's gone for the ball. It was a shot originally. Galini had saved. He parried it out. Truffert had gone for the header. Have we got a goal?
Sorry. Yeah, it's in and it's Slavia Prague and it's Alexander Ba. And he's just hit it outside the box and it's dribbled into the bottom left. The reason that there was such a thing, it was because he was moving so slow, but no Union players there. The Slavia fans are absolutely loving it right now. And it's the Danish man, Ba, who I thought possibly could have got a call up to the Euros based on his performance in Europe. He was one of the standout players in that run for him. But you see what it means to Tripovsky, the manager. I'm just going to see a replay of it now. It was the corner that got crossed in and headed out just outside the box. Bars hit it on the volley, and it's just, instead of having a lovely connection on a volley, it just hits it straight to the floor, gets so many bounces that it just tumbled past all the players into the back of the net. It's not the cleanest finish from the right back. I've seen him score better, but it's still a lovely goal. And Slavia Prague 1-0 up here at home.
Perfect start. That's what you want to see for Slavia Prague. 1-0, as we said there in that game. Real Betis with a chance in the Celtic game. It was an opportunity for Juanmi on the left wing. First real opportunity where they got forward. But I think the referee wanted to stop play. And I think he let play continue, gave Betis the advantage. He played the ball into Fekir inside of the box. He'd gone for a shot at the near post. Good save by Joe Hart, at his near post for Celtic. And Betis just starting now, 20 minutes to get into this game. And I noticed when we said about Celtic, Aaron's saying, fuck's sake, I don't know if he maybe doesn't like Celtic because I don't think he was happy with Celtic taking the lead in the game. But you'll have to tell us whether you're a Celtic hater or a Rangers fan.
I mean, the way this chat goes, he's probably a Rangers fan.
Very likely.
By the way, I do recognise that Truth there because I signed him at my Melbourne Victory save as one of my overseas players on loan. That's how I recognise him. And on that, he was very good, but it was also the A-League, so you can't really get a true representation on Football Manager of a player. I thought I recognised the name.
We've got another goal. This time I said Conference League. Slovan Bratislava with an instant equaliser against Copenhagen. Jonas Wind scored in the 18th minute, and then their forward Ezekiel Henty scores 3 minutes later. So Bratislava 1, Copenhagen 1. Obviously, plenty of action in the Conference League in the early stages. A couple of goals there, and of course, a couple of goals in the Champions Europa League as well. There has been another goal, I think, in one of the games. I'm just checking the Conference League. It seems to be flying left, right, and centre. No, I think it's been disallowed. It looked like it was a goal for a second for PAOK against Lincoln Red. I think it's been ruled out because it's gone from 1-0 back to 0-0. So the success story, I have to say, for Lincoln Red. Oh, don't choke on your food, Rowan.
It's a regular occurrence, and it's Theophile Catherine has made an absolute howler. And Miguel Antonio's made the most of it and put it in the back of the net. When I was streaming, I could see out the corner of my eye that Theophile Catherine just didn't know where he was, and I think he's tried to play back to Livakovic, and it's just so weak. Livakovic has had to come out to rush it. Antonio's got there, he's tapped it past him, and then he's put it in the back of the net.
And we have a goal as well. It's 1-1 between Rennes and Tottenham. Game on. I'll let you speak about your West Ham one first.
Well, it's just going that, Livakovic passed it to Theophile Catherine. Catherine's then put under pressure by, I think that was, is that Lanzini or whoever it was? Lanzini, he's done. Anyway, he's just put under a lot of pressure. He's tried to play it back, but he's just got no pace in the ball. Antonio recognises this, gets to it, taps it past 1-0 West Ham.
Perfect. And in the other game, away from England, it's 1-1 between Rennes and Tottenham. And Rennes, as I said, fans have been lively in this game, and the noise from Rennes Stadium completely erupted. Florian Tite with a goal. He's outside the box. I like to say a very Robin-esque goal. He cuts in onto his stronger right foot, curls it into the bottom right-hand corner. Galini's beaten. The stadium erupts into pure joy, and Rennes are right back in this game, and deservedly so, because they played really well in this first 20-25 minutes. And this one is looking like it could have the potential to be a corker in the Conference League. But West Ham in the lead, Slavia in the lead, Celtic in the lead, and Tottenham drawing in what is looking potentially like an opening day belter in the Conference League.
I wonder. I don't think I've actually put on a bet for these games tonight. I was gonna, but I forgot. Union, do you have a? I'm not going to do a KDSA dangerous free kick because every time he jinxes it, but it's definitely a ball that could be crossed in. It's headed away, but great save, Livakovic. That's a really good save. It was just happening in the meantime. And it was Ryan Fredericks, of all people, making a lovely run down the right-hand side. Not pressed by anyone. Sotalo completely loses his man, and Livakovic is forced to make a save. And I feel like I'm going to be saying that quite a lot tonight with him, because we're only 23 minutes in, yet he's been called into question a lot.
Lots of action early on. A chance in the Celtic game. Opportunity from a corner. In fact, there might be a penalty here, and there is a penalty. Ooh! And I was going to talk about the corner, but penalty Celtic. Wow. Chance to go 2-0 up. I was going to talk about the corner, but there was a chance in the build-up. Claudio Bravo looks to have brought down, I think, Albion Ajeti in the box. Pellegrini in complete disarray with the referee, but I think it's the right decision. And it looks like Celtic have got a chance here to go 2 to the good. And they're arguing that Albion Ajeti's offside. I think he's on, and I think this penalty will stand. But, seeing the replay back again, I think Albion Ajeti there, he's going to get a penalty for Celtic here. And there's a very big opportunity that Celtic could maybe go 2-0 to the good in this match. We'll have to see. Obviously, I'm guessing we're going to get another bit of VAR intervening into this match to obviously see what the decision's going to be.
Imagine if Celtic got 2-0 up against Betis. I know Betis is not the youngest of size, but great result for Celtic.
They've played brilliant. I have to say, there's been that one opportunity which I spoke about earlier for Betis, which was Joaquin and Fekir linking up. But apart from that, it's been all Celtic. And for a team which, as we said, on paper isn't maybe as strong as it could be, for a Hashi's not in there. For example, obviously they've lost Edouard now, so they've lost somebody who could score 15, 20 goals a season. They're playing very, very well. And I think probably what we'll see a lot this season from Celtic is end-to-end football.
Yeah. I think them old firms going to be really interesting, because Celtic are now we all know the league is practically made up on them old firms. And
yeah.
His egg pie's won here. In behind, Linger, Tetrul arrives, and he's took his time. But by the way, in this game, in the Slavia game, Livkovic, he might be injured, it's fine. In the Slavia game, these are 3 yellow cards already. The referee loves the card.
Biauer has intervened and penalty's been given. Celtic have got a penalty as Chris has joined us. Welcome, Chris. Hope you're all good. So a chance here for Celtic to go 2-0 up on the night against Real Betis. Big opportunity in the game, you feel. I think it's Rogic who's standing over the penalty.
Come on, Rogic. Just Aussie, innit? You know about the Aussies.
Check just in case. Let me have a look. He scored 2-0 Celtic. And it's not Rogic, it's Jovanovic, the centre-back, who's taken the penalty. Bizarre choice in terms of the penalty taker, but it doesn't matter either way. Comfortably placed in the back of the net. And Celtic are 2 to the good on the night against Real Betis. And as you said, Rowan, if they can come away here with a victory on the first day, it puts them in very good stead with how tough that group is.
Yeah, 100%. The ref is having an absolute howler here. So you also knew the one-year yellow card. Tetrul's just had a shot, and it clearly takes the deflection off Robin Knock. Ref doesn't give anything. He's having an absolute howler. And in this West Ham Zagreb game, being a fight from West Ham have come out firing on all cylinders. And a man who, I'm not saying playing for his career, but definitely playing for a starting spot in this team, Ryan Fredericks. Great start for him. Also, we know what Soufal can do, and Soufal probably will be the starter. But Ryan Fredericks is making an absolute case for himself tonight against what is a tough team. Zagreb is in a walkover. We also saw that comeback that they did last year in the competition.
Might be a chance to go 3-0 up here for Celtic. They're in. Montgomery cheats the keeper. Ayeti tries to take the ball down. Doesn't. Bravo's caught it. Probably should have been 3-0. They're all
Did
over.
Did Bravo get carded?
No. That's what I'm surprised about. No card came out from what I saw, which I thought he would have gone into the book for it. But I think...
I love a keeper getting a card.
Unlike your game, the referee seems to be lenient in this one.
A card for a keeper puts the game just on another level because it's just that opportunity. So one of the games that always sticks is when Edison got. Was it Edison when he just started when he kung fu kicked? Was it Salah?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever see a red card, Taiwo Onye getting his first chance at goal there. Does really well to put it onto his left, goes for on his right, and it's a great recovery tackle there by Kacharaba.
I mean, Kyle said in the chat, Chris saying he's his usual self. Thanks, hope you lads are well. We're very good. Hopefully enjoyed Liverpool-Milan last night. I bet your heart was going mental when you conceded 2 in 60 seconds. But Kyle said, that's not pen for me. I didn't see Bravo touch the Celtic player. He dived. From one of the angles that I saw, because they showed a couple of different angles on BT, there is an angle where it looks like Bravo did get a touch on Ayeti. Yeah. And that sways me a little bit. But there's another chance in that Betis Celtic game. Again, Kwanmi on the left-hand side, just inside the box, again at the near post, takes a shot and it hits the post and rattles out. Hard did get a slight touch on it, so it's gone out for a corner. But this is very end-to-end.
I'd say both these games, Mikel Antonio, right, today has caused so many problems for Satalo especially. Just he easily gets away from him. And Antonio, we obviously know how quick he is, but just his pace has not been contained by Zagreb at all. And the thing is, when you look at West Ham, who is their sort of backup striker? Funny, because they don't 11 like Ben Rama and Noble can probably play the same with Yarmolenko, but they don't have another out-and-out striker, so sometimes it is all on Mikel Antonio. It's another goal.
I think, there's been another goal. I was going to say, I think probably Bowen as well, that they'll use as a striker at some point. But goal in the Conference League, Vitesse, 1-0 lead, probably one of the biggest sides in the Conference League. Sondre Trostand is the player who scored in that game. So Vitesse 1-0 up against Mura in the Conference League. Apart from that, in terms of the goals, West Ham 1-0 against Zagreb, Slavia Prague 1-0 against Union Berlin, Celtic 2-0 up against Betis, and Stade Rennes 1, Tottenham 1. They're the 4 games that we're covering. In terms of the Europa League, Ferencváros 1-0 against Leverkusen. And stop for a second, because Betis are back in it. We've got a corker on our hands. It's 2-1. And as I was talking about the goals that were going in, the goal goes in Spain, and the stadium erupts because it was a gift of a chance for the former Barcelona man, just signed for them recently permanently, Juan Miranda. And it's a set piece, which actually starts this completely off. It's a ball whipped in from Joaquin. It's terrible defending at the back from Celtic. I don't know how Juan Miranda's got for a goal. He dinks the ball over one of the Celtic defenders, Sorrow. The ball bobbles. Nobody goes for it. And Juan Miranda, obviously being instinctive, just runs straight for the ball. Gifted an opportunity. And Betis are back in it, 2-1.
Wow. I mean, we had a great opportunity. Balling behind to Max Kruse, puts it on a plate across the box, and Awoniyi just can't stretch to it, and then the rebound get there. But it's such a gifted opportunity. Just Awoniyi, just a couple of seconds too late. And that is a late challenge there. And beef between Declan Rice and Ristovski. And it was he Lanzini? Lanzini with a late challenge. He's going to get a yellow. I thought I was getting... Right, I'll be honest. This is just a wrong pub. I sometimes get Lanzini and Fornals confused. Don't ask why. And so when I saw them both, when I was like, they both are playing. Oh, God, I'm going to have so many problems. But that is Lanzini going to get carded. Just come. Souček and Rice are all over Petrovic. And Lanzini just comes in and absolutely crunches him. I don't know if he gets the ball. He actually gets the ball. It's a very good tackle, but he does crunch the man at the same time.
I don't know what it is. It seems to be in both your games the tackles are flying in. We haven't had many bad ones in our game, but there's been another goal. Europa League, Magician 1, Ludogorets 1. Desperov with a goal in that game. Magician obviously were 1-0 up after 3 minutes. First goal of the night. Ludogorets have hit back instantly. Obviously, we'll keep the ticker on the bottom constantly running with all of the goals. But
you're an absolute hero when it comes
to... I've been treated today with the goals, Rowan. I've already had 5 goals.
The thing is, I've only ever done the goal show once, and that was the Champions League. I already struggled. I had everyone trying to say, Rowan, let's change the bottom score. So I have always had so much admiration for you when you do these goal shows, especially when considering you're doing it by yourself as well.
Oh, it's 2-2. Sorry, Rowan. Game on, Betis. I'm back in it. And it's Iglesias. And it's a typical FIFA sweaty goal. And just like that, sod the Tottenham game. The focus is on the Celtic one now because it's back level. And it's only taken about 2 or 3 minutes to get 2 goals. It's 2-2 in Betis. And it's Juanmi, not Iglesias with a goal. They showed Iglesias celebrating. But as I said, a typical FIFA sweaty goal. It was Iglesias with the assist. He's onside. He waits for Juanmi to run. And by the time Hearts come out of his goal, it's a simple, sweaty FIFA goal. A Betis level, 2-2 on the night. 4 goals in the space of 40 minutes. Corker.
That's a good ball, Luth, as well to collect. What a game. You're getting 2-2 already.
Treated again tonight already.
Wow.
It's great.
Zagreb have stepped up now. It's a great ball and behind it for Ristovski. Can't get there. Oh, it's another yellow card in the Slavia game. This time it is to Ibrahima Traore as he just runs straight into Luth when he's trying to throw it out. He holds his shirt, barges him over. It's definitely a yellow. That's the 4th of it. If you had a bet on yellow cards and corners in the Slavia Union game, you are set because there's already been like 5 corners, nearly already 5 yellow cards.
But if you were betting on goals in Betis Celtic, you're on fire right now. Was just looking in the chat. I mean, Kyle, if you're still watching the game, Kyle, you've picked a very good game to watch tonight because it's an absolute corker, this one. Chris saying you lads have spoken for goals last night. We were indeed. And then Peter's in the building now. We're doing Peter. Always. Chris putting on great. You two get on well together. In fact, to be fair, last night, obviously you weren't here, Chris, but Peter did admire the fact that you go to all of the Liverpool, or as many of the Liverpool and Carlisle games as you possibly could. So that's the first probably positive thing I've heard from Peter about you, Chris. So take that and enjoy the moment because it's not often that you two will actually get on with something for once. But good to see you both in the stream as always.
We've just got our first black screen So do you know, like when there's a serious injury, they'll flash up a logo, like the BT logo, in case it's severe? Well, we just had it there, but it wasn't even anything. Tonali went for the header, the former Mainz man. He went for the... Oh, no, sorry, it was Rene Khedira. He went for the header, and he just heads the back of Linga. Linga carries on, but obviously Khedira goes down because he's been hit in the head. And that was just weird to see. Oh, Fornals just couldn't get it under control.
I'm going to jump in, Rowan. Another goal in one of the games by Leverkusen back in it against Ferencvaros. 1-1 in that match. Obviously, we were saying before, Ferencvaros taking the lead in that game in the first 10 minutes. Ezequiel Palacios, Argentine midfielder, with a goal in that one. So high-flying Leverkusen, who, we were saying before the stream how well they've played in the Bundesliga, bat level in that game, 1-1 against Ferencvaros.
And if you're a West Ham fan, you've got to be happy with Nikola Vlasic's performance. Not really got involved in trying to set up goals, but when he gets on the ball, you can clearly he's got an element of danger around him. Zagreb passing the ball, Union. I saw it from Zagreb earlier, trying to play the ball around. Union have just done the same thing. Luther's just kicked it straight out of play in his own half. That was nearly an absolute howler from him. But yeah, the Vlasic has caused problems on this right-hand side. And I think when we get back to Premier League football this weekend, obviously Manchester United for West Ham, so it's not going to be the easiest game. But West Ham fans, pick up a result today against Zagreb. See your players like Vlasic play well, Zuma, even Kral if he possible comes down. See them new signings play well, because you could win games with the team you've already got. So adding them new additions, you could really take the game to United.
And I think as well, obviously resting a few first team players like Ben Rama and Bowen and that, keeping them fit for the game against United is massive for them. As Peter said, brilliant win for us last night, Chris up the Reds. Did he really say that? Yes, he did, Chris. First time for everything, pigs can fly in the sky. And then he said it wasn't brilliant, Peter. It wasn't perfect. But for the neutral, Chris, it was a very, very enjoyable game. Obviously, apart from the few connection issues I had, it was very enjoyable to watch. But I'm going to stop for a second, Rowan. There's been another goal. We're talking about some thrillers tonight. This has got real potential to be a corker. Ferencvaros are back ahead.
Wow.
Leverkusen after about 2 or 3 minutes of Leverkusen scoring. Goal in that game going to, find out in a second, Vexai, Balint Vexai, the midfielder. So 2 minutes after scoring, Leverkusen are behind. And fully enough, actually, Leverkusen last season in the Europa League, I remember them watching, I think, when they played against Young Boys and they got knocked out. I don't know what it is, but Europa League does seem to be their kind of bogey competition that they never do well in.
The thing is, you look at the starting 11, we talked about it, it is a side that can do well in this company. We've seen sides that haven't got the same team that Leverkusen doesn't go far. And especially, no offence, I know Ferencvaros were in the Champions League, but Leverkusen, that's a great ball and behind, well sought out by, I think that was Kurt Zuma.
Just jump in very quickly. Welcome, Aaron. Oh, you're good, mate. He's a Rangers fan, of course. He's asked, are you watching the Rangers game tonight? Yes. The games we've got tonight, for those of you wondering, because we're back on about 5 or 10 minutes before the 8 o'clock games. The games we've got a little bit late tonight are, we've got obviously the Rangers-Lyon game. We've got PSV Real Sociedad, Leicester-Napoli. We've also got the Roma game as well from the Conference League. So a good mixture. And I think, Rowan, are you doing Frankfurt-Fenerbahce?
Frankfurt-Fenerbahce.
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, and then one more. That's a chance for a break. And guess what? It's another yellow card. It is a second yellow card.
Oh.
And it is a red card for Union Berlin. And that is, if I'm correct, I don't want to get it wrong, it is the centre-back, it's Jekyll. And he needs to go hide because that is a red card. Come on. You've got it. KL will be proud. But yeah, Jekyll is sent off down to 10 men. And I think he's signalling here to go to a back 4. So it'll probably knock Friedrich, Puskás and Trimmel, play 4-3-2. And when he's on a yellow, you can't. We talk about it so much when in all the watch-alongs we've done. When you're on a yellow, you can't make tackles like that. And it's not even a thing here. It's Linga who taps the ball away from him. Jekyll comes across. He holds the shirt. Linga goes down. Linga doesn't sell it. Linga and all the players on the pitch know, even Jekyll knew he's going to go down due to this foul. Second yellow, sent off. Union, all the work to do right now. all the work.
First ever red card in the Conference League. Congratulations, Union Berlin. You're making history as you go along. That's what we love to see. Aaron's saying in the chat, love the transfer window streams from you. Watched a few of them. Great work from all of you. Thank you very much, Aaron. You're a legend. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, we've got the Rangers game tonight. I think KD is covering that match. So we'll bring him in and out of the stream. Because obviously there's only two of us. So it's easy when we can both stay on the screen for this one. Well, tonight, we'll go back to the usual system.
Yeah, well, we know Vlasic only got his first West Ham goal. Just from a nothing cross, Frederiksen, I think it was Antonio, tried to go for the ball. It fell to Vlasic's foot, and he goes for the shot, and it was well blocked by, I think it was Theophile Catherine actually sticks his foot out. It was a decent block. And it stopped, but another opportunity for West Ham, and you feel like, give them a couple more chances and they'll knock the door down.
You expect them to do so. Another goal in the Conference League. Goals flying in there now. Copenhagen 2-1 up against Slovan Bratislava. Jens Stark with a goal. Jonas Wind, we talked about earlier, he got the first goal of the match in that one. But Copenhagen now 2-1 up in that game in the Conference League. Obviously, we're not that far away from half-time, so we'll go through all of the 16 matches results when we get there in a few moments. But see if we can get any more goals, hopefully.
So this, obviously, if you know the channel, you know Kale loves the MLS. And I've tried to watch much games if I'm awake. And if I'm right, it's either Columbus Crew or Nashville. But basically, or maybe even a lot of this offside. A lot of the teams have like do you know like a scissor lift? They have the top half of the scissor lift that basically faces the fans, and so fans will go in it and they'll start crowd chants. We've got the knockoff version over here of Union. It's just a fan who stood on the barricade with a loudspeaker. He's not looked at every time they've gone to him. He's not watching the game. He's just screaming to the Union fans. Sorry, they're just doing advertising or something. What's going on? But yeah, the fans. Luckily for Union, even though they're down to 10 men, they've got their 12th man in the fans. Oh, that is lovely.
They're going to need that because obviously being down to 10 men is going to be a tricky task. Slavia, we know they're such an organised side, and it's going to be tough for them to get back into
for
that
a full
game.
half as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see a lot of red cards in these games, maybe 70th minute, 75th, and teams can usually hold on. But when you've got a full half, luckily, it has just come just at the end of the first, so they've got enough time to go into the dressing room and change it all up. Antonio crosses in.
Just a quick update. Ferencváros goal's been disallowed, so it's actually back to 1-1. Obviously, they took the lead a moment ago, been disallowed, so back to 1-1 again, and a bit of a sigh of relief there for Leverkusen, who were about to go down to the Hungarian side, but 1-1 in that game.
Vlasic shoots! Oh, it's just wide. Again, he is knocking on the door just wide there. Former, Moscow man? Please tell me I'm right, Josh.
Say that again, sorry.
Former Moscow man, Vlasic?
He is indeed.
There we go. I was so worried. With these streams, I get so worried that I'm going to say the wrong team.
No, you're right on that one. You're spot on. Knowledge of football is going up in the world.
It's going up eventually. We had a lovely link-up play. I think it was Mazurpush and Oscar Dorley. Dorley plays it to Mazurpush. Mazurpush back seals it to Dorley, and then Dorley actually runs inside the box. He gets tackled, and referee didn't check it. He does go down under a tackle, but nothing given. Luth lets it go out for a goal kick. But again, a man who last season sort of came to earn, was playing in many different positions for Slavia, was utilised at that left back or left mid position. But this season seemingly has found his role as sort of that defensive sitting as that midfielder. And he's really complemented well by Sevcic. Both got really incredible work rates. And so when you've got two of them there, it really does allow the other to push up and support either Stanchu or Linger, whoever's playing that attacking midfielder role. And it's the two benefits I think Slavia have always had. They've always sort of had a decent midfielder. And I mean, it still goes on with the librarian. You know what I meant.
I know what you mean.
He's not a librarian. He's not a librarian. Liberian.
But I think we are into additional time. Some games have been half time. We've got about 2 minutes left to Betis Celtic. That one's still 2-2. Tottenham, about 2 minutes left of that one as well. Not much going on in that game, but I'm guessing there's been a chance in yours.
It was I was about to say there's a minute left of the West Ham have added time, and it was a Damien ball gets played into him. He flicks it up for himself. He flicks it again. He goes for the sort of the volley, the scissor kick, and it's blocked well by Zuma. No, it's not even blocked. It's Zuma. It's Aaron Cresswell who heads it away. DFL Catherine goes for the reply, and it was a centre-back's finish. Just absolutely hooted over the crossbar.
Unfortunate. About to hit half-time in Rennes Tottenham, 1-1 as it stands. Rennes actually playing really well in that game. Tottenham with more possession, as you'd expect, but Rennes doing very well to hold on in that match, of course. So it's quite a fairly tricky group for Tottenham as well in theirs. Obviously, we'll go through the groups at half-time a little bit more, but we're about to hit half-time as well in Betis at Celtic. That one's 2-2 as it stands.
Ooh.
Obviously, game of the night so far.
Osic on the left. Osic shoots. It's blocked. Oh, it was literally the final play of the game. It's the reason why I piped up. There was a second left when it started. Went to the left for Osic, and he just tugs it on the right, and it's a really good block by Ryan Frederick. Sticks his foot out, and it's eventually cleared, and the whistle's gone in that game, and the whistle's also gone in the Slavia Union game.
Well, we've had another goal just before half-time, and it is the lowest-ranked side, I think, in the history of any competition. Lincoln Red Imps, the real heroes of Gibraltar football, making it to this competition. They've just gone 1-0 down to PAOK, the Greek side. Chuba Akpom, former Middlesbrough man, who scored in that game. So
that's where he came back to the Championship.
I think he was just a loan spell when he went there, if I'm correct. Yeah. So he's gone back to Greek, and he's scored against Lincoln Red Imps, and that's a shame because they're 2,000 to 1 to win the Conference League. So if you want to put a pound on them, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the exact same thing. Stick a pound on it, and you never know. You might get yourself $2,000 back if they win it. But half-time in Tottenham, Rennes 1-1. Half-time in Betis, Celtic 2-2. And I'm guessing it's half-time in your games, Rowan, as well.
Yeah. Half-time here. I'll give you a quick round of my games. If you take me off, I just need to make sure this has got charge.
Of course you can. Let's go through the games very quickly. 16 matches overall from the Conference League and the Europa League. And as you can see, plenty of goals across the board. We'll go through the results of the games now. Obviously, the 4 matches that we're watching. Dinamo Zagreb 0, West Ham 1. Obviously, nice start for West Ham in the Europa League. Very confident indeed in that game. We'll talk to Ron about that one in a little minute. Slavia Prague 1-up against Union Berlin. Union Berlin down to 10 men. Red card at about the 40th minute. They're down to 10 men. Going to be some work to do for the Germans. Game of the night so far. Betis 2, Celtic 2. Celtic 2-0 up against Betis. 2 goals in 3 minutes. Puts the Spanish side right back in the game. We can bring Rowan in. Sorry for knocking you out a little bit early.
That's all good.
Rennes 1, Tottenham 1. Tottenham with the first goal of the game. Lucas Moura with deflected own goal from one of the Rennes centre-backs, so they equalised with Florian Tate. Bayer Leverkusen 1, Ferencváros 1. Ferencváros were 2-1 up in that match, but goal disallowed by VAR in the latter stages of the first half means that it's going to stay 1-1 at half-time, and not the best of starts in the world for Leverkusen. Galatasaray 0, Lazio 0 in terms of that game, looking at the chances. No shots on target yet in that one. Galatasaray dominating the game possession-wise. Midtjylland 1, Ludogorets 1. First goal in the game came from Midtjylland. That was the first goal of the night. Gustav Isaacson in the 3rd minute. Despodov equaliser for Ludogorets, 30-minute mark. Not many chances in that game. In fact, both shots on target have ended with goals. Lokomotiv Moscow 0, Marseille 0. Moscow are being battered in this game. I don't know how Marseille aren't 1-0 up. They've had 10 shots, 5 on target. 76% possession, Marseille, and they've not bagged a goal yet, but that one is still 0-0. And Gil Herm, the keeper for Moscow, is having a very, very busy night indeed. Rapid Vienna 0, Genk 0. I think we're moving over to another Europa League game. No shots on target in that match as of yet. Genk dominating possession in that game. Red Star Belgrade 0 and Braga 0. That's the last game from the Europa League. In terms of how that match is looking, it is pure domination from Braga, but only one chance in the match, which has gone to Red Star Belgrade on target. So fairly even in that game. And then we move on to the Conference League games. Lincoln Red Imps 0, PAOK 1, as we said. Shame for the Gibraltar side. Chuba Akpom with the goal in that game. Not many chances, quite an even game, actually. So Lincoln Red Imps putting in a good performance for their first match ever in European football. Congratulations to them. Flora 0, Ghent 0. Obviously not a standout game. Ghent dominating it. Flora have had a few chances, but that one actually, on stats, probably should have had 1 or 2 goals in it by now. Game which has had a goal in it. Muro 0, Betis 1, the Belgian side. Probably one of the bigger teams in the competition. Absolutely battering the home side. They've had 13 shots, 4 on target, 70% possession. Only scored 1 goal. I'm pretty sure we'll see a few more in that. Game of the night, I guess you could say, in the Conference League so far. Slovan Bratislava 1, Copenhagen 2. Copenhagen opening the scoring, Jonas Wind in the 18th minute. 3 minutes later, Slovan Bratislava scored. And then Jens Stark before half-time getting a goal for Copenhagen. Every shot on target has equated in a goal in that match. So if it keeps going like that, we could be on for a thriller in that game. HJK Helsinki 0, Laskelins 1. Not much going on in that game. The home side dominating opportunities in that match. And then the final game of the Conference League to talk about for now, Karabag 0, Basel 0. Karabag and Basel, very even game stats-wise, not much in it. No goals either. So that are the 16 games as it stands at half-time. It feels quite a bit of time actually going through the games. Yeah. By the time you've gone through all 16, 5 minutes has passed. But
there's a lot on.
There's a hell of a lot. I mean, I think there's 12 games tonight, so still quite a few tonight.
A little bit more of a breather.
Games, it definitely should be easier. West Ham, first of all, we'll talk about that one. 1-0 to West Ham in that game against Dinamo Zagreb. How are West Ham looking in their first game of the European season?
I think confident is the right word. There's there seems like there's no nerves from any of these players. I mean, you look at the side, and Zuma and Diop at the back have been very strong, rigid. Not allowed Petkovic, especially. We know he's a tall striker. Not allowed him to get out Muslim strong block. Ryan Fredericks. I think Cresswell has done what Cresswell usually does. He just plays it okay, decently. Ryan Fredericks, on the other hand, played very well, caused so many. When Vlasic just cut inside, if maybe Antonio's not there, it's allowed Ryan Fredericks to go on the overlap, and he's played a really good game. 2 older midfielders have just done what they usually do, just solid groundwork. Fornals and Lanzini have played better than Antonio. You could say it was a lucky goal, but Antonio had the wherewithal to notice that Theophile Catherine's pass was going to be weak and to get on to the end of it. I think Livakovic has been a bit unlucky in terms of he's made some very decent stops and commanded his team well, but it's one of them ones where you even see some of the world's best goalkeepers make a mistake like that when a centre-back tries to play it to him. And sometimes it is normally centre-back's fault, but people will always blame the keeper. Say, the keeper should have come out quicker. Not Livakovic's fault. It's all Theophile Catherine. But good start for West Ham. They've just got, and my worry is they don't keep it going. Luckily, they've got the depth, but hopefully they can just ride this out now.
And that'll be the key. We know European football teams like Zagreb, they can come back in games even with limited possession. And if West Ham can get that first win on the board, it'll put them in good stead for the rest of the Europa League group stages. And then obviously the other match, your most important game, Slavia Prague 1, Union Berlin 0. Berlin down to 10 men as well. It's not bad, is it, for the Czechs so far?
Not bad at all. I mean, and ever since I said obviously Slavia have dominated. We definitely got about that. I've just recently seen that Oscar Dali penalty shout. It's very clearly a penalty, nothing given. I think the thing is, Union had a lot of chances. I think getting on the ball onto the left and allowing Max Kruse to play them balls into Awoniyi has created a lot of opportunities. But Ba, especially, has come back well. Usu as well in his European debut has defended well. That was the key thing for them today. Was fair play. Max Kruse is a bit older, and you're going to be able to catch him up and stuff. But we know he's got a good finish on him. But Awoniyi was going to be the biggest test, and so far they made him look like the Liverpool Awoniyi. But it's a good performance from Slavia. Played compactly well. Man of the match so far for me, Oscar Dali. Who he's playing at? I hate Google. They just wrote consistently switch Dawley and Traore, put him at left back in CDM. But I'm pretty confident Dawley is in midfield, the amount of runs he's making. The same runs. But I think we'll see a couple of changes, because I think this is a game now where Slavia can really help their goal difference. We've seen sometimes a goal difference and head-to-head could ruin it. I think they need to take off Stanislav Techel. He's not, don't get me wrong, he hasn't played bad, but he hasn't played the best. To bring on Jan Kushka, we know he's probably a more prolific goal scorer. Same with Andre Linga, you could probably keep him on for a bit longer. And genuinely, this isn't a lot of Peter Olinka. Majapush went down, or even Ekpai, but Ekpai is on a yellow card, something. But Majapush went down twice in that game, clutching his ankle. And when he came off the pitch, he looked a little bit gingerly. And then obviously another guy, Daniel Samek, the midfielder. But right now, no changes really need to be made. Just ride, again, as I said for West Ham, ride it out. But Slavia have got it a little bit easier. What about your games?
Much more comfortable, isn't it, for Slavia? Very good start indeed. Just very quickly before I go through mine. Diraj is in the building. Welcome along, mate. Hope you're all good. Jamie's in the building as well. How are you doing, Jamie? Good to see you, mate. Same old watch-along stream, same old Chris and Peter bickering. That's what we love on this channel. How is everyone? We're doing fantastic. Hopefully you're all good, Jamie, because I think it's the first time I've seen you back since we've got the streams going again. But obviously, first game, Betis Celtic. I mean, I was treated to goals yesterday. I've been treated to goals to goals again tonight. It's been electric, this game. Obviously, Celtic going 2-0 up. Albianetti with the first goal. The second one, the penalty, they've shown it again. And now I've seen it. Maybe Kyle is right to a certain extent. It really depends on what angle you look to whether you'd give it or not. From a few angles that BT showed, one of them looks like, yes, absolutely, he's got him. And then another angle, it does look like Albianetti's gone for the dive. And I think Celtic fans obviously will rightly say it's not a penalty. Betis fans will, Celtic fans will say it is a penalty. Betis fans will say it's not. But it's a tricky one for the referee to give. But Betis, either way, came back into it very quickly. 2 goals in 2 minutes. As Carl said himself, I think he put it perfectly, abysmal defending from Celtic. And that is going to be Celtic's problem, I think, throughout the whole of the season, regardless whether they're playing in European football or in Scotland. I think defence has been their problem for the last year plus. Really, really sloppy at the back for the first goal. The second goal, again, it was just Betis carving open the entire defence and a typical FIFA sweaty goal. But, I mean, stats-wise in the game, 11 shots, 5 on target for Betis, 9 shots, 4 on target for Celtic. It is shots just left, right and centre in this game. And I'm hoping we get a few more in the second half, not to steal a few more goals. But the other game, obviously in the Conference League, Tottenham against Rennes. This one was looking quite all right for the first 15, 20 minutes. I've kind of focused now on Betis Celtic because that is the more entertaining game right now. But early goal in the game came from Lucas Moura. It's gone down as an own goal for Loic Bade at the back. Very, very heavy deflection for the first goal. That sent it into the back of the net. No chance it's going to stand for Lucas Moura. And then Flavian Tait with a brilliant, brilliant finish for the second goal. As I said earlier, Robben-esque, cuts onto his strong right foot, curls it into the back of the net. And it's a lively-ish game, probably not as action-packed as maybe Betis Celtic, and that's understandable. Shots-wise, let me get it up very quickly. There we go. 9 shots, 2 on target for Rennes. 1 shot on target and 3 overall for Tottenham. Rennes are making the most of the opportunities. And if they could get a win in the first game against Tottenham, would make this group fairly interesting, because I'll get the groups up because we can talk about that very briefly while we've got a break. I think that group with Tottenham could get interesting, depending on what happens, because Vitesse aren't walkovers.
Vitesse, and they've got the talent, and obviously they're clearly winning now. I don't want to say it could be embarrassment for Tottenham, because I think, again, they've got the quality. They still retain Kane, and who will be able to clutch up for them in certain situations. But it's definitely, when you look at the other groups, you look at Group A. Okay, I'll be honest, I thought group spelled wrong. I'm guessing it's a different spelling, but like Group A is maybe possibly the group of depth. It would be depth, like having Slavia, Feyenoord, and Union. Even Maccabi Haifa can cause some problem, but like you look at Group A, not really dangerous. Same with Group B, you would see Ghent would probably be the biggest favourites. Whereas Group G, Rennes and Vitesse are not sized to sit down and say we can easily beat them. A team like Tottenham should be, with the amount of money they've spent and compared to Rennes, Vitesse and Mura. But not everything always goes to plan, as we've seen plenty of years. Oh, it's my boy.
Is he coming on?
No, he's just warming up.
But, that's a good sign.
Josh, I haven't seen him in a while. He's had an injury. It was just poetic justice when we're doing the street. After we talked yesterday, I was like, yeah, he's been out with an injury. I'll see when he's returning. When the return date unknown. Day later, he's back.
He's back. For those wondering, that is Peter Olyinka.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot that not everyone knows who Peter Olyinka is.
But I agree with Group G's. I like to think of it that every team in that group will look at Tottenham like a cup final. You know, when you play the bigger teams, they always, you know, for example, Mura, nobody will know who they are, and that's not being disrespectful to them. They're not a recognised nation that have been in European football. I think, you know, when you look at the Conference League, there are teams in there that have been in European football plenty of times that you know. So, for example, Cluj, always in the Europa League, you know that they're in there. Karabag, these are recognisable sides that have been in Europe for so long. But for a team like Mura, and even Vitesse and Rennes, they'll look at that Tottenham game like a cup final, and they'll up the performance just that extra notch. They'll press a little bit harder. They'll push not as many men forward. They'll keep nice and organised and tight at the back. And I just think for Tottenham, if they weren't to get a win against Rennes, it won't be panic stations because there's a long way to go in this group. You know, it's only match day 1, but you know, they'll have to play Rennes again. And Vitesse, they're not going to be easy to play.
They'll play their own games. I think the worry for Tottenham is Tottenham are, let's say, they're either a Europa League side or a thing, so they should have easily walked thing. And I feel like they could be in a sort of an air of complacency of we may just walk into this game, this group thinking it's a Conference League, we'll easily get through this, and then we may get some tougher games as go later on. But no, you've got the toughest group. You can't treat these sides any lower than you. And if Tottenham can think is sorry, just a change in the Zagreb game, Theophile Catherine is off.
Not surprising.
Not surprising at all. They have took him off, and I think it was Juric. Yeah, Denny Juric has come on for him. I just love that. Yeah, you made a mistake. You're off. As both games are back underway. Well, West Ham is about to be.
Yeah, we're about to get back underway with the rest of the games. I am going to say very quickly, obviously, before some of these games do kick off. If you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like at the subscription if you are new to the channel. This is the Goal Show. We do it for the Champions League and the Europa League as well as the Conference League now. I've got the later games tonight. You can join us at about 5 or 10 minutes before kickoff. KD's joining us for the later games, so you can join us at about 5 to 8. Valencia versus Real Madrid, that's Sunday night, 10 to 8. You can join me for that. That's first versus second in the Liga. Fiorentina against Inter Milan, that could be a corker. That's Tuesday night at 7:35. Could be a very good game. And then, of course, Champions League is back in 2 weeks. 28th of September is the next match day. We'll have, obviously, Tuesday, and we'll also have Wednesday's games as well. Lots of big games on both nights from the Champions League. And then, of course, we'll have the Europa League and the Conference League 2 weeks on Thursday as well. But I know Chris and Peter are going at it in the chat about Divock Origi. Peter comparing Divock Origi to Ronaldo. Ronaldo can play anywhere in a front three, so can Origi. And Jamie just gets to sit back and enjoy the drama. This is what we need. And in fact, Jamie's right. Chris and Peter should create a channel where they debate and argue. It will be box office entertainment, that's for sure.
We nearly just had an opportunity. It was Petkovic just outside the box, gets the better of Diop, and just whips a shot. I narrowly just misses the post, but it's a start you want if you Zagreb. Energetic.
Very energetic indeed. And we are underway now in the Betis Celtic game. I had a little bit of additional time because of VAR and things like that. But I'm hoping we do get a few more goals across the board tonight. Obviously, a couple of 0-0 still in there. Galatasaray Lazio probably being the biggest standout. But there might be a chance for you, Rowan.
We nearly got another outside of the box goal. This time, I think it's Ibrahima Traore. It was just played through by Slavia, and it just finds itself just outside the box. I think that was Mashupush who gets a bit of a poor touch. And Traore just arrives late, and he just absolutely lashes at it. Just narrowly misses the post by Traore, goes wide. It was more just an ambitious shot from outside the box, is why it popped. But again, good start for Slavia having the ball. And I'm worried for Union. If a one goal goes in early, you could see a collapse.
Very, very good chances indeed. I was thinking in the back end, all I can keep thinking about now is what we need is we need to get Chris and Peter on this channel. We need what Ty and Claude had, where they had their own show, and it was just like they'd talk about the week stuff that would go on and they'd disagree with each other. We need that, but we need Peter and Chris together for it.
I do love
box office.
I do love Peter's reasoning. Ronaldo played in front three. So can Origi. And technically, he isn't wrong technically, but it's great.
I was baffled because I know this is like Origi talk we're on now, but I think I saw something today. I don't know if Chris or Peter saw it, but it was something to do with, I think Klopp was saying, I'm surprised no one made a bid for Origi. And it was something like with the way that he's been playing. I was a bit baffled because I can't remember the last time Origi played a game before yesterday. And that's not being disrespectful, but
have you seen the video of the Liverpool fan who said, "I've lost all respect for Klopp playing Origi because Origi's been lazy."
I think that's a talk sport degree in the making there for that guy. Ultimate clickbait. He's good for views though.
Oh, 100% for views. It's probably the best thing you could ever say, especially with the caption. I think it was like Klopp has lost all respect from all Liverpool fans. Then it's all the comments going, "No, we haven't."
Thing is, he must have known what he was doing. I am going to say, though, that we were speaking about the fans earlier. What we do like to see, the flares are out in France. The Rennes fans have lit the flares for the second half. And it's just gone from being easily able to see what's going on to the fog and the mist of the flares, now making it a little bit more harder to see the game. But still 1-1 between Rennes and Tottenham.
We've got a stretcher coming on the pitch. I saw him calling for his head. Go on, you tell about the opportunity while I try to see what's happening here.
I thought I'd changed it. I literally just said it's still 1-1. I thought it was going to be 2-1. It was a decent run from Tanguy and Dembele into the box. He thought he could take on a couple of Rennes players and does really well to do so. He's just gone for the shot, but the goalkeeper Salin is first to it. And I thought for a second there we were going to get a goal, but still 1-1.
Yeah, so I saw that player go down and he's told the referee, and I think Dodge team just tapped his head saying, I think it's Usu. I'll get a proper name clearly. Declan Rice! 2-0. 2-0. I was too distracted with the player down, and it's 2-0 to West Ham. And I think this is just literally as a sub's literally about to be made. Declan Rice just drove down the left, straight through, shot in between Livkovic's legs. Oh, that looks sorry. Between Livkovic's nets, I think Adamir has just gone over to start some beef, and they're going to walk away. Players are going over to sort this. But Declan Rice walking off. I think this. No, if I'm right, I can't see any fans, and I don't know whether it's just because one standout. There we go. I can see the West Ham fans absolutely loving it.
A good away day for them in Croatia as well.
Again, it's just a sloppy pass. Rice has done very well there against Satano.
Oh! Sorry to jump in, Rowan. The comeback is complete. Betis are in the lead. It's 3-2. And again, sorry to jump in. It's been a very end-to-end start to the first 5 minutes of this second half. And this time, the man who I thought had scored the second goal has got the third. Borja Iglesias. He has been brilliant tonight in terms of the build-up for the 2 goals that he's been involved with for Real Betis. And again, looking at the goal now, Celtic will be very disappointed about this. Ball on the left-hand side where Juan Miranda plays it, I think, into Juanmi. And again, very similar to the Haller goals last night. It was Canales, who put the ball into the box at the near post, crosses it in. Borja Iglesias, the instinctive striker that he is, makes the run to the near post, gets a little flick on the ball. It's in the back of the net, and Betis have turned it around on the night, 3-2.
Well, I mean, what an incredible comeback. So, yeah, Declan Rice, I start running, good finish. And then Slavia are going to make some changes here, but we've just seen a player get stretched off. I still haven't seen who it is, but he's got a neck brace on. So he's responsive and he was talking, but when you see someone going off with a neck brace around the neck and the head, it doesn't look good. And the players that came on, Jan Kluster has come on for Tetchel, and the player that actually went down was Karachaba, the centre-back. So Lako Takas has come on for him, and Stanislav Tetchel off, Jan Kutka on. And then that West Ham game, Lanzini has come off, and Saeed Benrahma has also come on. So a couple of changes all around. But yeah, hopefully he's okay. So it's not a nice little injury to see, but 2-0 to West Ham and all that.
Talk about West Ham. Sasha's in the building. How are you doing, Sasha?
Hello.
Everybody's coming in today. Good to see everyone. How are you doing, Sasha? He's put up the hammers. Happy with West Ham in a 2-0 lead. Change for Tottenham. Kane's off.
Wow.
And Mora's off. Scarlett, the youngsters come on.
Wow.
And I didn't get to see who the other player came on for Kane. But Kane's gone off. And obviously Tottenham have got, I think, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they've got a pretty big game this weekend as well. So obviously resting for the game ahead. Maybe I'm wrong. They've got someone like a Watford or something like that. But Chelsea, yeah, big game. I think it's an early kickoff as well. So
yeah, and I like that he's putting faith in
the youngsters. 4-2. Betis have come to life. I feel like every time you want to talk, Rowan, Betis score.
It's all good.
And Buanmi, the number 7, is on the score sheet as well. And again, 2 goals in quick succession for Real Betis. And it's all crumbling now for Celtic, who I've got to say, we said it time and time again tonight, the back line has been absolutely woeful at points for Celtic. So for this goal, of how it went in, I'm going to see the replay in a second to talk you through a little bit more. So it's from a corner, a set piece, ball's whipped in towards the near post. Poorly defended by Celtic. I think it's Cameron Carter-Vickers who's gone to head the ball to clear it away. It bubbles out to Juanmi, who chests it down, hits it on the half volley. It ricochets off the post into the back of the net. 4-2 Betis. Wow. Quality game.
Union nearly just got back into it. It was a lovely play by Rani Khedira. Gets on the wing, puts it straight in. The ball ends up going straight into the box, and it was Awoniyi who held it up well, plays it onto that left-hand side by Max Kruse. Khedira arrives late, and he just hits it. He just narrowly misses that top left sort of corner. He goes out, I think, for a goal kick. But wow, Union have just got a second wind right now. I say that Slavia are coming. But good opportunity there for Union to get back into the game.
Got another goal elsewhere. First goal of the second half in the Conference League. Ghent taking the lead against Flora. Said at half-time, had loads of chances, Ghent, in their game against Flora. And they finally take one. Means there's been a goal in every game bar one in the Conference League. Goal in that game coming from Lamagic, the forward, in that game. Very, very heavily changed side looking at that Ghent team. Not many recognisable names in there. But they're 1-0 up. Good start for the Belgians. Only just made it through. Had an absolutely awful preliminary round entrance. I think they were losing every single game to the qualification and had to come back in every match to make it through. But they're winning right now, and they're 1-0.
Statement, isn't it? It's an absolute statement.
Massively.
But, is it 5 subs?
Yeah, 5 subs in the conference in the Europa, like the Champions League is.
Oh, that's okay then, because I might still get to see a glimmer of Peter today. Oh, throw-ins took very quick. There's a lot of open space from Traore pushed up. And Union, ball through to Awoniyi. Holds it up so well. And tell you what, I think that's Traore who's come back. Does incredibly well because his space is the reason it was left open.
I still think there's goals in this Celtic game because Jota's coming forward here. It's 4 against 1. He's had to take a shot on because there's nobody near him. I'm going to read what Kyle said because I agree with him. Just lazy defending by Celtic. No urgency to put your body on the line, stop the cross. And it's just poor, isn't it? Every goal they've conceded, I think you'll agree, Kyle, could have been defended quite easily by Celtic. And it's obviously a very, very different back line to what they usually play. Carter-Vickers and Juranovic, I don't think are usually the two at the back. Carter-Vickers they're going to make a change here. Sorrow coming off and James McCarthy coming on. But I think there's a few more goals in this one.
About to say 4-2, just a disappointing collapse, really, when you're 2-0 up. Oh, and talk about a statement. 4 changes for Union Berlin. Maybe 3. But it might be 3 or 4, but anyway, it's a big statement bringing on that many players. And tell you what, they might even get a goal before this because Awoniyi's broke through. He's played it through onto the left-hand side. Max Kruse, he stuck his time into the box and Awoniyi! It's in! And he might be offside. The flag is up. I don't know if there's VAR.
VAR, yeah. I think VAR is in the Conference League.
I mean, Awoniyi, I don't know, but it was a lovely break. Khedira plays it through to Max Kruse. Awoniyi is offside. He is offside. There's no doubt about that. I'm guessing they said if it makes connection, possibly. And I said they genuinely might score before them subs come on. And they're not. He was offside. Then 4 subs will come on. I'll tell you more once they actually come on.
That's all right, because there's been another goal elsewhere. Going to go to the PAOK game. Lincoln Red Imps has said lowest ranked side in the competition. 2-0 down now to PAOK of Greece. Mitrita with a goal in that game. Obviously, Chubakpom, former Middlesbrough man, former Arsenal player as well, scoring the first goal of that game. But PAOK now looking in fairly comfortable control of that game. And unfortunately, the Gibraltars are looking like they're going to go 2-0 down as well. Another goal. Finally, they brought the duct in the game between Lokomotiv Moscow, Marseille. We said Marseille had 14 shots in that first half. They finally bagged in their Europa League game. Goal in that match coming from Sengiz Under. There is a red card as well, actually. So the player has been sent off at the same time as the goal. So Moscow are now down to 10 men. Marseille 1-0 in front. And that one looking like that could potentially turn into a bit of a goal route. 1-0 Marseille.
Yeah. About to Marseille, I think we looked at that one game on paper. That's a good game. We nearly had a goal here. And it's that Petkovic. And it was nearly an opportunity for Zagreb to get back into the game, and it was he does so well there. He was Ivanasek, just taps it past so many defenders, gets past Diop, puts it on his right foot, and it narrowly just misses the post.
It's all right. You continue. Celtic have the ball in the net, but it's been disallowed.
He narrowly just misses the post, just past. But Zagreb have got a bit of energy too. Go on.
Yeah, the energy for Celtic now as well. As I said, ball in the back of the net. It is spot-on decision for offside. It was Albion Yeti who would have got his second goal of the game, but referee, rightly so, and the linesman, flag up, offside. Could have been 4-3. Told you. Still might be a few more in this one, I think, Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, when you've had 6 goals, it was the same with me last time. It's like when you got 6, you just want more. Them changes that occurred for Union, it was that 4 change. Vogel, Schlammer, Behrens, Prommel, and Becker are all on. And come off Max Kruse, Taro Wanye, Ostinali, and Rani Khedira. Very surprising changes. Obviously, you're not going to see a defensive change, but very surprised Haraguchi stayed on, hasn't done much. And especially with the Wanye and Kruse coming off, I mean, they don't have much room to change anyway with that red card. But both of them were playing well. They really were. So very surprised to see at least both of them come off and at least one.
I think specifically that group as well, you cannot afford to drop any points in that group just because all 4 teams are so evenly well balanced that obviously Union Berlin already going 1-0 down. If they lose that game, which is fairly likely, they're already going to be on the back foot. And that game, when they do come back in 2 weeks, no doubt that one's going to be covered. Union Berlin Feyenoord, that's going to be a tricky one for them again.
Is Thingy back? Nothing. The Feyenoord already played?
Yes, they did. They drew 0-0.
Was it 0-0? And I thought they'd already played. I just couldn't remember the result. There were no Ali Reza, so I know KL could be all right there. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, good defending from Kurt Zouma. And what an impact he could already have on this team. So vocal.
He's been brilliant since coming in from what I've heard.
I mean, if any, I'm guessing Chelsea needed to make some money for all the sale, the incomings they had. But I thought he was such a solid defender for them.
I think more than anything, I think it was because they wanted Koundé. So it would have been Zuma out, Koundé in, and now they didn't get Koundé. I don't think they'll be ruining it much, but I wonder if they'll miss him a little bit.
Just because of obviously they play that back 3. I know Aspilicueta could fit in at centre back, but because they play that back 3, having depth in defence is huge.
Yeah, and obviously now I think the backup player they've got Chalobah and I think it's Malang Sarr. And obviously the golfing class between Sarr and Zuma now is going to be quite heavy.
But it luckily gives them time for them youngsters to play, especially Chalobah, to come in and play some actual proper first-team football. It's one of the things, they have lost someone great, but they're investing in the future in a way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could agree with that one. We're about an hour into tonight's games. I'll quickly run through the scores of all the games. Zagreb 2-0 down to West Ham. Slavia Prague 1-0 up against Union Berlin. Union Berlin down to 10 men after 40 minutes. Real Betis 4, Celtic 2. Real Betis were 2-0 down, brought it back to lead 4-2. Stade Rennes 1, Tottenham 1. They're the games that me and Rowan are covering. In the Europa League, Bayer Leverkusen 1-1 against Ferencváros. No goals in the second half of that one yet. Galatasaray still 0-0 against Lazio. Bajicilin 1, Ludogorets 1. Marseille 1-0 up against Moscow. Moscow down to 10 men. Rapid Vienna 0, Genk 0. Red Star Belgrade 0, Braga 0. And then in the Europa League, Conference League, Lincoln Red Imps 2-0 down to PAOK. Ghent 1-0 up against Flora. Vitesse 1-0 up against Mura. Copenhagen 2-1 up against Bratislava. All them goals coming in the first half. Lastlin's 1-0 against HJK Helsinki. And Karabag Basel is still 0-0. 16 games not to go through.
Rostovski's just come off. And it's just because of the R's and the A's that look very similar in the text of the back of the Zagreb shirt. And then Sadkar Moharami has come on. But I was, Jesus Christ, how many A's does he have? Because of the A's, because of the so many the A's and the R's, it does look jumbled. And I thought Slavia were in, they were not. He was offside. Unfortunately.
Talk about that Stade Rennes Tottenham game for a second, because I haven't really spoke much about it since the second half. It's been very quiet. I think those substitutions for Tottenham are very reminiscent of Ronaldo being subbed off for Lingard. I don't know if Spurs fans will be quite happy if by the end of this game, if it stays 1-1, that Kane was subbed off for. Fair play, it wasn't the forward, but as we said earlier, you don't want to be coming into this game giving Rennes every possible chance of winning it, and they're coming forward now actually, and it could be a chance here. Ball on the right hand side inside the box, shot taken on. Galini doesn't make the save. It's gone over for a goal kick, but Rennes knocking on the door, and if they were to get something in this game, then there'll be a few questions asked, I think, of Nuno and subs.
In fairness, you saw on Twitter when Ronaldo and Bruno got took off, a lot of fans just look at him settling for a draw, and then Pefok steps up and obviously puts it away, makes it 2-1. Tottenham are not going to want that same thing to happen.
No, absolutely not. There's been another goal in the Europa League. The only game, there's actually one more game left. That's 0-0. But Galatasaray have taken a 1-0 lead against Lazio. Big game, that one tonight. Quite a tasty game on paper. Goal in that game coming from, if he comes up, Strakosha on goal. Don't know what's really going on there. But Strakosha scored an own goal. Galatasaray leading 1-0 on the night there. And obviously, again, that group is quite a tasty one on paper. I think that's got Marseille and Moscow in there as well. So very tasty indeed. 1-0 Galatasaray.
I can tell you if it's an absolute howler. Tip to the own goal. There we go. I'll tell you if it's a howler. Because when you see a keeper on goal, you've got to watch it.
Yeah, it's got to have been something that's happened for it to be classed as an own goal. Whether it's bounced off his back or something, free kick.
Oh, that's embarrassing. It was just a shot that came in. The defender kicks it up high. It was Lazari, I think, who kicks it up really high. And Strakosha just doesn't catch it. He goes to catch it, and he just parries it into his own post and into there. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Usually when you see a goalkeeper own goal, it's got to be something wacky for it to be given as an own goal for a keeper.
But I'll come back to Slavia and there's a goal.
We've got a goal in one of the other games. One more game, actually. I said there was only one game that was 0-0. It's actually two games that are still 0-0. But now it's only one. Genk against Rapid Vienna, taking a 1-0 lead in their game. Put that back up on the screen there. Try and find where it is. I'll have a look who the goal scorer is now.
You've got so much to cycle through. I don't blame you.
It's endless. Let's have a look. Goal in that game. Genk 1-0 up. Onuachu, the Nigerian, absolute baller last season for Genk. But it might get disallowed because VAR's checking it. But as it stands, Genk 1-0 up. So one more game. Red Star Belgrade Braga, and there'll be a goal in every match.
And in a game that you probably seen would have had goals.
In fact,
that's a great cross. Never mind.
Goal disallowed. Not going to stand for Genk. It's back to 0-0 again. Disallowed for offside, it's looking like. So Onuachu's not going to have his goal. And we're back to 0-0 again, unfortunately.
So he's going to have a yellow card here. Misic fouling Mikel Antonio. There's a great opportunity for a counter-attack here. Traore won the ball back, and Jan Kutska was free and gone. It was just a really poor ball over the top. But Union, Union have got fight in them still. The game really has changed. And
they're going to need it. They're going to need all the fight they can get.
100%.
As you said, the fans are going to be key to that for the last 25 or so minutes.
We're going to see another change. Oscar Dawley is down injured, and I didn't see who was out coming off the bench. But it wasn't Samek or Oli Inca, so it doesn't matter. Ooh, yeah, that is not nice. Do you know like when you fall and you can see someone's ankle going? Well, Traore and I don't know who else is going up for the header. And then the Union players, when Traore Dawley's landed, he's just landed on his arm. Ooh. The Union player. Oh, I think got Stanchu. Stanchu will be coming on.
Not nice.
Oli Inca's definitely not coming on.
Falls.
Yeah, Oli Inca's definitely not coming on. Josh, he's just a passenger right now. He's just sat there twiddling his thumbs.
Oh, unlucky. We thought we'd get him on the pitch today, but it looks like he's not. There's been another goal.
I'll let him off.
In the Conference League, Vitesse 2-0 up now. Yeah. Vitesse had about, I think it was 14 or 15 shots themselves in the about first 45 minutes of that game. They're 2-0 up now, the Belgians, in their Conference League match, in cruise control of that game, and goal in that match coming from forward Darfalu. And then there's been another goal as well. I said earlier it was the Conference League game of the night. It's living up to the hype because Copenhagen are now 3-1 up against Slovan Bratislava. I'll have a look at the goal scorer is in a second. Is it Jonas Wind?
With a penalty.
Or are you predicting it?
No, Jonas Wind scores a penalty.
Boom, there we go. You've done the work for me. Thank you, Ron. You've saved me the hassle there. Jonas Wind with second.
Seemingly, it's only when the Copenhagen pops up, it's the same time you're talking about it. It is a double change. It's actually a double change for Slavia. Dorle is not coming off. He was walking over. One of them is definitely Stanchuk because it's number 7, and the other player is number 26, which is Ivan Schranz, who's played a couple of games. So Linga is going to come off for Nico Stanchu, and Majapush is going to come off for Schranz. So one more sub left for Slavia.
And they're going to need to make sure that every player that's on the pitch is going to work hard because they've got 20 minutes to try and get an equaliser, as have Celtic got 20 minutes to score 2.
It's a ball in! It's in the back of the net! Union have equalised.
Oh, it's going to be for Slavia then.
No, Slavia 1-0 up, obviously, but when them changes were made, it's literally the next sort of play. And I don't know who's put it away. Is that Vogelschlammer? Oh, no, it's Behrens. And it was just a simple ball that just finds itself on the right-hand side. I think it's Christoph Trimmel who plays the thing. I'll obviously agree, but that's Kevin Behrens who put it in. The former Bielefeld man, I think. But, cross comes in on the West Ham game. Nothing happened. It was just a long ball over the top, and it just wasn't cleared. And then it's a really good ball onto the wing. Crossed into the middle to Behrens. It was number 27. It was Geraldo Becker who pulled that ball across the box. Kevin Behrens is there unmarked. And seemingly we're down to 10 men, but it doesn't matter because they've equalled the game up.
Oh! And Tottenham are 2-1 down. And it's their new star man, Gaetan Laborde, who's just put the ball in the back of the net after a Galini rebound. And I literally said 5 minutes ago, you are gifting Rennes an absolute opportunity to take 3 points home. And they instantly pan the camera to Harry Kane. And it's just one long ball up to the left wing for Rennes. The ball goes... in fact, it was very similar to the Tate shot earlier. I can't say who it is specifically who's taken the shot on. I think it's actually Doku who's come onto the pitch. He takes the shot on. As I said, Glini rebounds the ball. Laborde, instinctive striker. He's there at the near post. And it is a goal for Stade Rennes, who take a 2-1 lead, and it could be a Conference League opener disaster for Tottenham because the Rennes fans have gone wild.
It's literally what we talked about, isn't it? It really is. We could see the United thing happen all over again, and I think it's a very different situation. Tottenham have got a very tough game at the weekend, but we talked about with the depth is if you lose Harry Kane, who's your striker, well, you've still got Harry Kane, who's your backup striker. You had Carlos Vinicius this year. Who was it this year? So, not karma, but definitely not the result Spurs fan will want.
No, it won't be. And talking about 2-1, goal in the Bayer Leverkusen game. They're taking the lead in that one finally. 2-1. Wow. Florian Wirtz on the 69th minute with a goal. So Leverkusen back in front in that game against Ferencváros. They were 1-0 down. Of course, Ferencváros did have a goal disallowed to make it 2-1. And Leverkusen have taken the lead. As we said a moment ago, Rennes taking the lead against Tottenham. And you've got to say, if you're a Tottenham fan, I said it earlier, you're wondering why did you take Kane and Lucas off? I know, of course, they've got Chelsea in an early kickoff, but you do not want to drop any points, and they could be starting the group on 0 with about 15 minutes left. Yeah,
I mean, we talked about Bayer Leverkusen. Florian Wirtz is such a talent. Watching him last weekend, he just breathes when he's on the ball. He just breezes through players. One for the future, 100%. And you know what? I hopefully he stays at Leverkusen. That's a great ball in behind into the box. Well dealt with Haraguchi. Slavia nearly getting a second, but hopefully he does stay at Leverkusen for you want your young talents to stay. Like, I know Florian Neuhaus isn't on the younger side, but he's still 23. I wish he'd stay at Gladbach. Let it try get people to come to them. Same with us with the Jude Bellingham, Gio Reyna. You want players to stay at your club so you can build around them. And it's the same with Florian Wirtz because Leverkusen have got great self. Jeremy Frimpong as well, another young talent. They've got a good setup there.
They got a very good setup. And talk about young players and that. I know Kyle's just put in the chat. I know he's young, but I would have given Parrott a shot in the Tottenham team. Where is he these days, Troy Parrott? Because I swear the last time he was at Ipswich. This is what I mean. I've got no idea where he is. I'm going to Google Troy Parrott.
Ooh, West Ham. Shot. Good save by Livkovic.
He's at MK Dons. I wouldn't have even known that until somebody had said. Well, I think you got a very fair point, though, Kyle. I don't know whether maybe Tottenham don't see much in him. Hence why they keep loaning him out. But there's been another goal in one of the games, and it's actually going on the back of a very even. Well, I'm saying a very even tie. Braga are in front in this one possession-wise, but they're not in front anymore. Crvena Zvezda, Red Star Belgrade, 1-0 up in the Europa League against Braga. I'll find out who scored that goal in a second, but could be a very good start to life in the Europa League for Crvena Zvezda. Goal in that game coming from Milan Rodic, defender. So 15 minutes left for Crvena Zvezda to hold on. It's the left back who scored in that game. So Crvena Zvezda 1, Braga 0.
Yeah, I saw just go back to Troy Parrott. I saw a perfect tweet. He was like, how many times can you loan a player out until development? Sorry,
Rowan. I'm going to have to jump in again. It's 2-2.
Wow.
Rennes Tottenham. And we've got another cracker on here. It's Højbjerg, who's decided to celebrate by shushing the Rennes fans at 2-2. Now, that probably won't go down well if in the next 15 minutes Rennes score a winning goal. But to talk you through this one long ball from Ndombele onto the right-hand side. I think it's Doherty who whips the ball in. It is again, it's so unlucky for Rennes. A player's gone in for the sliding tackle. The ball comes off his foot and just unfortunately bounces to Højbjerg's path. He taps it in. It's 2-2. And this game is well and truly back on for Tottenham. 2-2.
Yeah. Wow. Tolic is on for Misic. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Dave Scarlett didn't score. I didn't want a young player to score. I think it was a Manchester City fan who said, how many times can you loan out a player before their talent goes? I think we're on about Liam Delap. And then he was just going, well, how many times can you loan out a player before what they could have been if you just slot them into things? You look at like a Marcus Rashford. Would have Rashford, Antonio's, he's tapped it past one. He's not going to get the second ball. Would have Rashford ever got a chance at United if he was just sent out on consistent loans? Yes, it was look how he got him, but look at what the player has become. It's one of them things of, do you just sometimes bite the bullet? You've seen clubs all around the world, they bite the bullets with young players and it pays off. And maybe it's really the Prem that you really see it often with, where you've got a lot of young players going out on loan to the Championship for multiple seasons. Sometimes they might just need that big game exposure.
We've seen in the past, haven't we, with teams like Chelsea, that they'll just buy players in bulk to loan them out, make them into decent-ish players, and then flog them on for more cash. It's mad the way that young players are used in football these days is poor. But very quickly, another goal's gone in. Braga have instantly equalised, literally straight after Crvena Zvezda had scored. 1 minute later, Galeno went straight up the other end and put the ball in the back of the net. So Crvena Zvezda 1, Braga 1. And we're starting to get some goals in the games tonight towards the back end.
I think one of the biggest examples of sort of Tottenham breeding players and selling them on Fikayo Tomori, because he's become one of the best centre-backs in the Serie. He can become one of the best centre-backs in Serie A. Ben Ramsey to pay in. And yet 29 million it was. Probably did he come up through the academy, or they wouldn't have paid a lot for Tomori, making a lot of profit will be on him. It is just unreal. And for teams like Chelsea, it probably does work out. Then you see like Manchester City and Manchester United and Liverpool, I think, are slowly changing, like Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, etc. Oh, Zagreb coming forward here. Oh, toss. No, they're not. That's great defending. That's great defending from Aaron Cresswell. I love Aaron Cresswell. But great defending there against Tonic. Keeps it at 2-0. But this Slavia game has heated up. Because Union are attacking. And if I'm Tripowski, you're going to have to make that fifth and final change. And probably take off Ekpai would be my only thinking. Just give some fresher legs going up front.
You were saying your game's heated up. Rennes Tottenham has as well. It's changed that one. Dele Alli. I don't know if Nuno was thinking he was going to have to make this change, but Ali's come on with 12 minutes left. So obviously Tottenham trying to go for it. Might be a chance here though for a fifth in the Betis game. It should have been 5. Iglesias shot at the near post. Bit of an awkward angle for him. And in the end, it goes wide of the mark for Joe Hart and a chance for him to breathe. But that Real Betis Celtic game, I haven't spoke about it much because obviously Celtic dominate the ball a little bit more as you would expect them to, as they're trying to get some goals to get back into the match. But I'm pretty sure here, unless something spectacular happens in the next 12 minutes, I think Betis will take the 3 points home, and Celtic are going to go home very disappointed because they were 2-0 up. Let's not forget.
That's the mental thing. It's not the fact. It's not like maybe they were 3-0 down, 2-0 down, and then managed to get back. They were 2-0 up. They had a great advantage. Good ball in the box. Shot great. Well blocked there by Knock. Oh, good block there from Union. From Knock, especially keeping them in the game. Slavia will come forward. But yeah, you were 2-0 up.
The game was in their hands. As I said, that first 15, 20 minutes, they looked brilliant. And as Carl said earlier in the chat, I know he put it a little while ago, but he says all the Betis goals could have been prevented with better defending. But that first 15, 20 minutes, they were all over Betis. They dominated the game possession-wise. They had a couple of key chances. And at 2-0, you think, oh, God, they could get a couple more in this with the way that Betis were playing. But out of nothing, as soon as Betis got that first goal, they just got themselves into the game. And there's a reason why they finished 6th last season in La Liga. You know, you don't finish that high up without having some quality in your team. And obviously the quality and the difference in class between the two sides is clearly shown. Still 4-2, though, between Betis and Celtic.
Who's the Celtic manager right now?
Ange Postecoglou.
Oh, of course, big Aussie. How could I forget? Did you see what he said in a press conference? Oh, I'll see if I can find it.
Is it the one from a couple of years ago?
No, I think it's from recently. I know
there was a video that went around when he first joined Celtic. It was like an interview he did a couple of years ago, and it got ridiculously heated. It was very awkward.
Yeah, and he's come out with some great quotes over the times. Ange Postecoglou on the fact that Celtic were in pot 2 of the Europa League, and Real Betis were in pot 3. And imagine this, may I say out of the kitchen, so pots aren't my forte. Just really liked it. It's nothing special. Kurt Zuma's not happy. He is.
Might be too Tottenham. Brian Hill's in the box. Deflection cleared away by Rennes. This one, I think, might have a late winner in it. There's 10 minutes left, so plenty of time. But we'll have to see whether or not something happens. I'm going to turn my light on because I'm plunging into darkness.
I was about to say, what we are seeing for West Ham, going to be a double change. I don't know if the same with Zagreb, but it's triple change, actually. I think that's Yarmolenko, the other player. But Mark Noble coming on, which is what you want to say. It's Mark Noble. You can't hate him. Masuaku and Yarmolenko will come, and I presume probably Thor, maybe Souček, Cresswell, and Antonio, possibly. And then I can't see the Zagreb changes. Number 70 and 80, which is for Zagreb, it would be Manelo and Gojak, I think. So 2 changes from there, but get to see Mark Noble come on. Which
I was going to say with the Slavia game as well. Obviously, I know you talk about the West Ham one, but the Slavia game, if Slavia do draw, obviously they'll be disappointed at the fact that they've not won the game with 10 men.
Yeah,
but it'll also mean that group stays completely everyone open to obviously going in front because they'll all be on 1 point because there were a couple of games that were played earlier a few days ago. Maccabi getting a draw against Feyenoord. So in a way, 1-1 wouldn't be a terrible result.
No, not at all. Traore's just come off and Kremčić is going to come on, so that's final change. But yeah, I think luckily because of that Feyenoord result, they're not fighting to match it. But I think they will be severely disappointed. 1-0 up with the red card. And don't get me wrong, since there were 4 changes, Union have looked feisty, but they should have really seen out this game because they made the same amount of changes at a similar time. I mean, there's still 8 minutes left, and this game definitely isn't far from over. But I think they would be severely disappointed with a draw because, politely, I mean, they were the architects of their own downfall with that goal. The thing is, it wasn't even a thing. It was just a minor shot from Traore, which allowed the ball in behind for Becker. We're just going to see Declan Rice has come off. And I'm just trying to see the other changes. It is Antonio. Who's the other change? I can't see. Oh, it's Nikola Vlasic for Masuaku and Yarmolenko. Is Masuaku? But is Masuaku coming on as striker?
I mean, that would be interesting for the last couple of minutes.
It's It's because it's Antonio and Vlasic coming off.
I'm guessing probably just a bit of defensive reassurance.
I think Masuaku's got on the left, if I'm right. Yeah. Probably Bowen up front, Yarmolenko on the right, or Yarmolenko up front, Bowen on the right, Masuaku on the left, Noble at CDM, and Ben Rama at Cam.
Little chance for Celtic. I'd say we haven't had any goals for a few minutes, but Celtic with a chance from outside the box. David Turnbull hit with quite some power on it. He doesn't come off the floor, so the ball is always just rolling on the floor. It's a decent, well, I'm saying it's decent. It's a simple save for Bravo, but 8 minutes left. If Celtic were to get a third in this game, it would make it interesting for the last couple of minutes, but still 4-2.
If they could snatch a draw, that would be incredible. By the way, they changed for... no, Rice did not come off. It was Fornals. It was Manalo, and it was... they're missing the other sub, Gojak, though, who came on for... it was Orsic and Ivanusek have both come off.
We have had a goal in one of the other games in the Europa League.
A goal! Slavia took the lead.
Well, that wasn't the goal I was going to talk about, but talk about Slavia, Rowan.
You talk about it, because I haven't seen the highlight yet. So you talk about the other goal that's gone on.
The goal for Red Star Belgrade, they're taking the lead again, 2-1 now against Braga. That one's coming to life in the last 15 minutes. Katai with a penalty from the spot. He's the leading player for Red Star Belgrade. 2-1 on the night. They've turned it round again. What about Slavia Prague? Has the goal gone in for you now?
It's gone in, and it's another piece of sort of unluckiness for Union. It was a shot outside the box by Stanchu, and it's took a deflection off Robin Knock, and it's fallen straight to the path of the substitute Jan Kutka, who's put it in that slided past Luther. It was an easy finish from Kutka, and that is so unfortunate. And it was a good shot by Stanchu, and Knock has done, in fairness, he's just blocked it, but it's just the way he's blocked it, he's gone straight into the path of Jan Kutka, who's put it in the back of the net. And I can't believe I missed it. I was too busy looking at the Zagreb subs, but the substitute for Slavia puts it, the sort of the main striker as well, puts it in the back of the net. Great finish from him, and 2-1.
Could be a perfect midweek for you. Dortmund winning, Slavia winning it late. Could be a perfect week for
Oldham not playing. That's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe Oldham bringing it down slightly, but at least they're not playing. That's a positive. But now, looking like Slavia are going to nick. Well, I'm saying nick it. They deserve it.
Yeah, I said they definitely deserve it from the first half performance, but Union did come out fighting, and it's definitely not over yet, because I thought it was over when Slavia 1-0 up, and clearly that could very well easily change. By the way, West Ham really riding this game out, had a proper solid game all game round. Everyone has played their part, and looks like they're just going to cruise.
Not bad at all for West Ham. Good win. Remember, don't forget, we are about 20-25 minutes away. We'll be live again for the nighttime games. KD's going to be joining us for that. 5 to 8 for the other match day one goals show. Main games in there from the standout ones. Obviously, we've got Leicester Napoli, which is coming up a little bit later on. There is Rangers, obviously, against Lyon as well. That should be a bit of a corker. PSV Sociedad, Frankfurt Fenerbahce. There's a couple of really nice games in there, as well as the couple of Conference League games that are going on. Roma taking on Sofia. That's the standout one from the Conference League. But me and Ron will be back very shurely.
Yeah, we will.
About 5 or 10 minutes to have a quick break, and then we're on again.
That's it. Well, this Zagreb West Ham game not over yet. It was Juric who got the ball, played it out onto the wing to Franic. Franic puts it in. Juric tries to get onto the end of it, and it was so close. Fabianski does eventually collect, but I mean, if Zagreb get one back with 4 minutes left, it's not over. It really isn't. And the Union fans...
In one of the other games, Lastlins have just taken a 2-0 lead against HJK Helsinki. So looking like a dominant performance for them now. 2-1 Lastlins.
The shirts are off in the...
sorry to jump in. 4-3 Celtic. Game on.
Wow.
We've got a chance here, a potential comeback and a really decent opportunity. I'm just going to update the screen here for a second.
That's
it's
fine.
somehow...
Oh, we got a goal.
Oh, you had a goal. I'll just quickly
Game over.
Set piece. Free kick comes into the box. It's a brilliant, brilliant ball. I think it was from David Turnbull. Gets it towards the near post. I'm just trying to see. I think it's the number 56 who gets on the ball. I don't know who that is exactly off the top of my head right now. But whoever it is, he scored the third goal of the season. And the answer to that, I'd like to see your name. It's Anthony Ralston who scored 4-3. Game on. Rowan, what about your goal?
Well, I was just about to say the shirts are off. No matter what your gender, the shirts are off in the Slavia end. And literally, game over. Kremčić as well holds himself up, flicks onto Ivan Schranz inside the box. Schranz then just a lovely swift hit. It was at Luth, but Luth has made an absolute meal of it. And it's just come off Luth into his own net. It will go down as a Schranz goal because he was on target. And Schranz hits it with a lot of power. Luth does save it. He gets down, but he sort of just parries it into his own net behind him. 3-1 game over. And there's more shirts off. Again, regardless of gender. They don't care in Prague right now. It'll be a party tonight.
There will be a party indeed.
After the nerves have got, obviously, being equalised, they've sort of seen it out.
Goals flying in, by the way. 10 men of Moscow have scored in the 89th minute. Tino Andrin, the man who actually got the retired shirt, signed from Chelsea. They originally retired Lokomotiv Moscow. The shirt that Andrin is wearing, which is the number 10, it's been retired, I think, for 40, 50 years. They brought it out for him, and he scores in his first Europa League match, 1-1 against Marseille. Moscow down to 10.
I mean, what a story you're taking away. Because 40, 50 years is a long time. Yeah.
A hell of a long time.
Yeah. He may have just saved them. Not saved them. It's not only a point, but it's more than they were getting out of that game. But Josh.
Just for a second, we've got a Celtic corner. Corner's being lobbed in. It's not come to anything. It's come to the edge of the box. Celtic going to come back at it again. If they can make it 4-4 here, this would be an absolutely... I mean, it's been an unbelievable match anyway, but even better, wouldn't it? There's about a minute and a half left of that game. That's for Rennes Tottenham. 5 minutes of additional time. That one's still 2-2.
Do they look like they're going to get back into it? Is there a glimmer of hope?
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, Betis, since it's gone 4-2, have probably thought that this game's been done and dusted, and there's been little opportunities here and there for Celtic to get back into it. And as I said to you, they just needed that one chance to make it 4-3 and just bring a bit of nerves to this game. I think there'll be a couple of minutes of additional time. So I'd like to see this finish 4-4, but what a game it's been. 7-goal thriller.
We nearly just got a fourth. It was just almost 8 minutes out of time. So we've got a lot longer in this game, Josh. It's not going to be as early finish as you thought. 8 minutes left at a time. And there's 3 minutes in the West Ham game, but 8 minutes far enough. We did have that head injury. But yeah, just ball straight down the middle. There's a man open left, and it's actually well blocked by Union, and they get it cleared. But 8 minutes is enough time, you know. It is enough time for Union. Union only need one, and get another one, and you've got to draw. So it's not over yet.
The Celtic game, nerves have kicked in. First full-time results come in. Full-time Genk have beat, Ghent have beat Flora in their game 1-0. So result there. But in terms of additional time, Celtic Betis, we're just about to hit the 90th minute now. Yeah. There's just 3 minutes of additional time. So not as much as I thought we'd get, but still enough time to go out there and see if they can nick a late equaliser. 4-3 still.
100%. I mean, all the games are going to have drama, and I feel like we've got to at least have one game with a late drama.
Could still be Rennes Tottenham. That's got 3 minutes left. It's still 2-2 in that. I've been treated again tonight. 11 goals in 2 games.
I'll tell you what, I'll take it. I've got 6 goals.
Let's hope we get a few more tonight. Let's see if we nick some of KD's again.
If KD has another practically goalless stream, bless him. We just need to give him a game where you're guaranteed. Game to do Oldham Brentford. That's going to have
there you go.
Goals in it.
Get a few goals in that one. Any bits late drama across Europe? Marseille just finished 1-1. Galatasaray Lazio finished 1-0 to Galatasaray. A couple of minutes left in some of the other games. Vitesse have beat Mura 2-0. We'll see, of course, if any of the goals go in. But I guess the main focus is that Rennes Tottenham, Betis Celtic, and obviously if Union can get a 5th goal in your game, Rowan.
I'm about to say, if we get a 5th, I'll be proud. It is funny though, because obviously all the shirts are off in the Slavia Prague end, but it is just got a good ball in Yamlenko. Good stop. It's just like being like it was like what you imagine if you walk into a working men's club. That's why it's just like in that end. There's just this section of like 50-year-old men, proper beer bellies, but they're absolutely loving it. There's like a good 15 of them all just in a bundle, all with their shirts off. And obviously football is such a big thing over there in Czech Republic. And I mean, football is, football's big in a country. If one city or capital has two top tier teams. And obviously they do have Sparta playing Bromby later on tonight.
Yeah, indeed.
So that'll be another interesting game. I think Sparta. Also, Slavia are only third in their league this season. Again, still unbeaten, but they're only third because cross comes in, cleared away by West Ham. They're only third, obviously because they haven't won as many, but they're drawn. Still unbeaten though. As West Ham, the whistle goes, 2-0 victors against Dinamo Zagreb, and a very convincing performance from them. From him, David Moyes played it to perfection. West Ham did as well. Wasn't forced to make a lot of changes to change it. I mean, he eventually did it just, I think, give a lot of players a lot of rest. But well done to West Ham. Solid game for them.
Might be an opportunity for Celtic to get the goal here. There's 10 seconds left. I mean, this would be incredible. One ball lofted long, keeper comes out. That might be it. I think Betis are going to take the win. Bravo's comfortably got the ball in his hands, and I think that's probably going to be it in that game. Full time across some of the other games. Leverkusen beating Ferencváros, obviously, as you said. West Ham getting the all-important 3 points on the board there. But full time in Betis Celtic, they have taken the 3 points in absolute opening day thriller. I mean, what a game of football that was. End-to-end drama, left, right and centre. And I think watching this group specifically is going to be very fun because there could be a lot of goals in this group, I think. But 4-3 Celtic and full time as well at Rennes Tottenham. No late goal to win it. A point apiece between Rennes and Tottenham. Good result for Vitesse, who will go top of their group. And it means full time across all the grounds bar 2. Obviously, Slavia still going. Magician and Ludogorets still going. We'll go through full time in a moment. But is there any more? Is there chance for late drama?
Oh, that's lovely. Kremčić. Oh, that's a poor ball. It's going to be not cleared. Ball through to Kučka. There's men open in the box. Kučka's took a touch. He did need to do that. Well, I was about to say there's 3 minutes left and Union were attacking. That's a cracking ball over the top. Oh, and it's a great save there by Mandus. Just comes out quick. But Union had like 4 chances there. The substitute, Geraldo Becker, got onto the wing, crossed a lovely ball in. No one could head it in. And 2 minutes left. Looks like Union might not even get a chance at one. Slavia will just pass this round very slowly.
And it looks like that is it for all the games apart from that Slavia one. Last game running. And
come on, Slavia, hurry up.
We have got the late games coming up very shortly. We'll be live in about 10 to 15 minutes for the 8 o'clock kickoffs. Of course, me, Rowan and KD for those games. And then in terms of all the other watch-alongs as well, we might as well do it while we've got a chance. Of course, we've got some league action. The weekend, Sunday, is Valencia versus Real Madrid. First v second in the league. Should be a corker, that one. Tuesday, or is it Wednesday? One of the two, either way. Fiorentina Inter Milan. Whenever the 21st of September is, 7:35 for that one. Should be a very good game indeed. And then the Champions League is back, 28th of September. All that week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. UCL, UEL, and UECL action. From all of the big leagues in football and all the big nations. And then if you want to check out our social media links, I'll say this now, they are in the chat with Kyle and in the description as always. And I would assume, is it full time? No, it's still going.
A minute and 15. I'm about to say, I hope that you time your intros close in, your outro close enough. A minute and 15. I mean, Union are just going to loft it forward with Luth. And he does kick it long.
But what I'll do is, for the last minute and 15, I'll quickly go through the full-time scores. So, West Ham 2-0 win against Dinamo Zagreb. Slavia Prague looking like they're going to beat Union Berlin 3-1. Union were down to 10 men. Best game of the night by country mile. Real Betis Celtic 4-3. What a game. What a game between Stade Rennes and Tottenham 2-2. Good result for Rennes on the night. Europa League action. Leverkusen with a 2-1 win against Ferencváros. Galatasaray with a 1-0 win against Lazio. Good result that for the Turkish side. Magician 1, Ludogorets 1. Moscow with a last couple of minutes equaliser. They were down to 10 men for half an hour of the game. They got a late goal to get an equaliser against Marseille, who dominated that match. Rapid Vienna 0, Genk 0. Only goalless game of the night. Only one of 2 goalless games of the night. Red Star Belgrade 2, Braga 1. Good result for Red Star Belgrade on the night. PAOK with a 2-0 win against Lincoln Red Imps. Flora with a 1-0 defeat to Ghent. Vitesse, good night for them. They got top of their group. 2-0 win against Mura. Copenhagen with a 3-1 win against Slovan Bratislava. 2 goals for Jonas Wind in that game. And Lask Linz with a 2-0 win against Helsinki. And finally, Karabag, the only other goalless game, 0-0 against Basel.
Yeah, and full time here. Slavic Junior could have got 4th then. Bar still working 120%. Just gets down to the right hand side. Could have easily crossed it in. Instead, just slowed it down, passed it around. Great win for Slavia. Look nervous, especially when Union. I feel like Union will feel a bit sort of downhearted. I mean, they got back into the game, but when you're down to 10 men, unfortunately, it was always going to be a struggle, and eventually got. But Union can take something from this game. They really can. I think without that red card, they could have won this. They really could have. But having to switch to that back 4 didn't help them at all. But they will go on to their next games with, I think, relative hope that they can get something.
And a very good set of games overall. And that's it for the 5:55 p.m. action. We'll be back in about literally 10 minutes, and then we'll have the 8 o'clock game. So a very, very short break. Massive thank you to all you guys in the stream. If you're new as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription and stick around. Thank you very much, Rowan. 16 games, we got through them, and we got plenty of goals as well.
I mean, yeah, great. I mean, we had I had the Slavia game were great. The Betis game were great. You got drama at Tottenham. I saw a convincing West Ham performance. Good games all around. On to the next ones.
On to the next ones, indeed. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Katie will be joining us as well. But for now, have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you in a bit.